So let's kick it off. So we have thoughts about Madden 22 franchise as far as, talking about as a whole, the whole game mode as a whole, not just NRG, even a little bit of Uzma, but we're also talking about what you liked about it, some glitches that really turned you off, some of the stuff, scandals, getting kicked and things that went on. So what do you got for 22?
So Madden 22 overall, I think it was very just copy paste. Every year it gets worse and worse. This year, obviously, it got a little bit more worse, but the abilities thing, that's the biggest thing about it for me. We get to the point where later on in the franchises, everyone has abilities, and if you're not there, if you're gone for whatever off like outside of video game stuff, like it just ruins the league. I think they got to fix that stuff. It's to the point where if I have a dev game late in the summer, I can't even get my dev game because I can't get my abilities. There's already a cap on it, and I feel like players should get their like abilities on players and stuff. But when everyone has them, like again, like it's just like everyone has them. It's almost like all right. This I'm answering this terribly, but
No,
how
I agree though. No, I know what you're trying to say because I thought the same thing. Like I just played Bobby a few days ago and the score was 79 to 78. It's gotten to a point where we're so like muscle memoried, we're so accustomed to the game already. Like in the beginning of the year, the game's hard for us, so it looks more realistic. Now that we've mastered abilities, selections, team styles, we couldn't even play defense. This year was impossible to play defense, and mastering abilities made it even harder. So I know I agree. Hopefully next year we maybe limit abilities, not in the sense of picking them, but maybe about repeating, just so you don't have like an entire D line that just cuts the run game out.
exactly?
But yeah, no, abilities are definitely a problem this year. I see that. Now, what do you think about as far as the whole kicking franchise and kind of how that kind of stunted your ability to really start from the beginning?
Well, at the same time, I do blame myself for it because
Yeah.
I have to leave or I have to go or I get kicked or whatever it was, and I come back, I have a disadvantage, and I understand that. Like, yeah, like if you're playing for a long time, you should have the advantage. You're controlling your roster. But then again, I came in late, and it was to the point where I couldn't resign my best receiver, and we just had rules where like like I just can't resign him. Like it literally said not even interested before I even offered him, and boom, I lose him. Now I have one receiver with superstar. And any other league, any a game online, you have one receiver superstar, you're fine, you're chilling. But again, I just played Che, my first time playing in like 2 months, I want to say. I couldn't even get him the ball. Like his defense is just good enough, and like nothing against Che, he's a good user, he's a decent user, but if I can even get the ball to my best receiver, like there's a problem with that. I shouldn't need to have three receivers all with abilities, things like that. So again, like you're not playing if you join late, your roster's at a huge disadvantage that it's almost impossible to even like equal out the roster rating, stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest problems I think we saw this year was just like people coming in moving too much. Now, again, we can't blame commissioner or anything on that, in my sense, because the problem really lies with Madden. Madden has the glitch where you can't resign. Madden has a glitch where your players don't want to take a certain amount. They have all those glitches right now. The problem with the commissioner, I don't know if you were there for this, is that every season we've had the same problem where they have to re-sign players for other people who miss free agency.
Yeah.
Now, in some instances, it's okay, but 48 hours, you had time, you had the whole season. I get that. And some players take advantage of knowing that they don't have to competitively bid, that Ray can just reassign them to their team. So let's say they can't afford Bosa and Nick Bosa, like Joey and Nick, right? What they do is they just say like, hey, it wouldn't let me resign them. And then Ray automatically assigns them the contract if it sends them over, whatever, right? So that was just one of the problems.
Shit, it was a good experience for me. Obviously, winning three Super Bowls, going undefeated. Got a few wins versus Ray and everything in that NFC West division and everything, which was one of my main goals. To come over there and try and wreck a little shop and whatnot. But I had a lot of fun. Madden 22, man, it was like I said, full of success. Obviously, we still had some glitches and everything, but that's just like typical Madden and everything like that. So you gotta expect that. But I mean, for the most part, man, it was fun. It was good, to get a win versus my former team in the Super Bowl. Also, it was good to, go back to Arizona. That was the original spot I first played at. And, win a bowl there and everything like that. Got a chance to beat up on Che a few times with the Seahawks and all that bull. So, yeah, man, it was fun overall, man.
You excited to go back to the Ravens, or are you going to miss the Cards a bit?
Shit, I'm gonna miss this team, bro. Just from the fact of having a guy like Kyler and everything. Obviously the Ravens got Lamar, but Kyler, I think he has like a very distinctive passing style that kind of fitted what with what I wanted to do this year. Obviously, I missed my tight end Caleb. He came out of
I
nowhere.
think McBride might be very similar to Starkey. I was looking at McBride a little bit. It's a very similar build.
Yeah, definitely, bro. But yeah, I mean, shout out to my boy, what's his name, Reed. Yeah, man, he gave me a great gym with him. So I'm gonna miss the tight end. I'm gonna miss my running back I got. But like I said, all good things must come to an end at some point. So I'm happy to be headed back home. Hopefully we can have some success in Madden 23 and everything. But it was definitely a good run this Madden and everything like that, man.
About Madden 22 franchise in terms of having the Falcons hometown team all year, in terms of the glitches, in terms of the scandals, the kicking, like what was your overall opinion on the Madden 22 as a whole?
So it started rough, especially with Jay cheating and me losing a lot with the Falcons. Overall, Madden 22 was fun. I think it was my coming out party. Finally was able to get a couple of good wins in the Super Bowl, a couple good seasons. We had some funny scandals, but I think that's every season at this point. And this year didn't disappoint. I think with the users though, like the inactives and shit like that, I think we kind of got out of hand with that. We got like a lot of open teams, a lot of users that weren't as active this year. So we can fix that in Madden 2023, that'd be good. But overall, Madden 22 is another success. Happy we were able to keep the lead going.
Yeah, I think that was probably the most consistent you've ever been as long as I've been here. Like you'll have one good season, then have one bad season, have a good season, have a bad one. This is probably the most consistently dominant you've been. I mean, you obviously had the team you wanted here. Is that your goal for next year as well? Trying to rebuild a similar success team, or is it more so 23 is going to be different, so you're not going to go in with that mindset?
So at first, me and Miles were talking about this like well before the draft. I was going to go with a fun team and a team that was already good and not have to deal with the stress of a rebuild and shit like that. But it's kind of hard now looking at the teams that I want. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, man. I kept saying I wasn't gonna go back to Atlanta, but Desmond Ridder made that kind of hard. So we shall see.
I think Atlanta actually has the perfect shell for a rebuild now. It was always that you weren't going to get a quarterback. You have to get wide receivers. It was just an impossible offense, but you have a quarterback that if you can play well with is going to be a top 10 quarterback in energy if you can develop him. We don't know how developing will be next year. Based on the beta, things were a lot harder to just pass and move down the field. So it could be harder to dev next year, which is factoring into my decision because I'm not entirely sure if I can just go out there with 70 overall receivers and a 60 overall quarterback and dominate. Because it seems like with pass rush being faster, it might be a lot harder to just stat pad, but we'll see on that.
Yeah, see, and that's what I feel like every year we start off with saying this year this is harder, this year that is harder. And by season 3 or 4, our league, for the most part, especially the top heavy users, they found their way to dominate. So like I seen Keith's update said, we won't be passing for 600 yards next season, but
that was said in the chat last year too when we first started playing and defense felt a little bit better. But I saw after our game 79-78, that was just stupid. I was thinking about it like we're so like muscle memoried and accustomed to this game already that we weren't even trying. We were just casually open all game. Like there was no defense to be played. Like I see why season 10 like should just never happen again. I'd rather have 2 separate franchises than ever get to season 10 or 11 with one team because it's gotten kind of dumb in terms of how good our teams are and how good we are at the game ready with our teams.
So, but I don't think it'll change. Well, I ain't gonna say that. But to me, I feel like I get so invested in the team that I built. I hate to see them go. So
that's true.
Like I don't want to restart because then it's like fuck, I gotta do this shit. That shit ain't easy.
It's like, your hometown team is probably different too.
Yeah, it ain't easy. I mean, but I do get how a restart will bring a lot of especially the users that got the excuse that they can't win. It'll bring them back to life and stuff like that. But I also am happy that this year, I think this was the year for the first time in a long time that we were actually able to do one season all the way through. So I actually enjoyed it. But I do see the downfall of that, like, especially if I was like Keith or some of them teams that started off good and just missed off seasons and ratings start dropping, yeah, I'm going to want to restart. So I can see both sides, but I don't have no complaints about it. I'm good either way. I get invested in my team.
Yeah. All right. So first things first, thoughts on Madden 22, your experience as the Jets, being kicked, being the Jets again. How how the NRG franchise went and kind of like your overall consensus on like scouting and drafting and like all the problems and stuff that we dealt with.
I thought it was an okay Madden. Would have liked to see some more defense this year. It was a little frustrating, like having 70-point games, get on your head just because your defense wouldn't go back in their deep blues, whatever it was. I thought the vibe in the chat was a little off the back half of the year. Wasn't as talkative. Had some issues with users kicking, leaving, what have you. Otherwise, though, I think it was standard business usually, as it normally is. But yeah, I was content with what went on this year.
I'd say it was the perfect storm to have any kind of issues. It was the mix of like users having problems that led to kickings, the mix of having the 30-second user being glitched, the mix of having to wait a month and a half to start because the scouting killed like some of that early passion we have when the game first releases. And on top of that, we dealt with a lot of glitches. And then exactly towards the back half, we got so good at offense and at the game that you're having 70-point games where defenses can't do anything. Like there was just a lot of things, the game-wise, not to do with the league, that kind of turned some people off. And then, of course, it's impossible to refill that many spots late in the year. So I think the key for next year will be getting a solid 32 from the start and make sure everyone stays on the same page. But next on the list, thoughts about Madden 22 franchise. Obviously, you were the Jags again. Just talk about your overall experience about liking the franchise, energy as a whole, and your just experience with Trevor Lawrence and the first year with some of these rooks.
Oh, well, this Madden was probably the healthiest Madden I've probably been a part of season-wise because we really had nobody really dominate. I mean, yeah, Trav won 3 and, Bobby got 2, but nobody like won back-to-back or 3-peat or nothing like that. So it was straight, man. Like I said, when I played the beta, I knew it was going to be an offensive type game where you were going to be able to, throw the ball everywhere and score a whole bunch of points. But I'm excited for Madden 23 because I feel like it's going to expose a lot of people, especially with that escape artist.
Yeah, I'll be missing that escape artist, but honestly, it's better. I mean, we adjust every year. Madden 20 escape artist wasn't great. Neither was 21. Right. Then we reverse. The same thing. Maybe the run game will be better next year. We'll see what it is, but it's definitely cool to have the game change up, especially defensively. I feel like Madden 20 was a really good year for all of us in terms of defense. I'd like to go back to that a bit more. I don't like how the last 2 years defense has been great. It really takes away from the skill gap of the game in terms of being a good user defender, being a good schemer, because like I played you a few times where we've had 60-point shootouts in like almost the playoffs. Like I don't want to be dealing with that. Like that's not a fun game about whoever has the ball last. That's not football. I don't want to be playing like that all game because it's just stressful. I can never comfortably have a lead because offense is just too easy. Madden 22 feedback and thoughts. So it's part of being your part commish, right? So you're going to be talking about how handling the commish duties for your first full year, I believe, right? How handling commish went for you, how dealing with stuff that happened like scandals and dealing with other problems that you had to deal with, commish trust. As far as being the Bills, being a player too, all the Super Bowl L's. Talk about Madden 22.
Right. You didn't have to bring up that last part. I thought Madden 22 was all right. As a league, I feel like it was probably one of our worst for NRG. I feel like there was just a lot of shit this year, where in past years it was more smooth. I don't know if I want to say a lot of it came from the game just being buggy and just having a lot of shit we had to work through. But we had a lot of scandals this year, so might have been fun in chat, but definitely a rougher Madden 22. I think for NRG, I don't think it was as smooth sailing as past years.
I think the chat was the highlight, truthfully.
What'd you say?
I think the chat was the highlight, truthfully. Like, that's the best part about the league itself is that we keep the vibe fun. Like, and, even this past month, right? No one's really playing their game, but we're still having fun in chat. Like, it says a lot. Like, the league keeps it fun.
I feel like the guys that are competitive are playing because that's what they do. But, yeah, I just don't think it's not. I feel like other Maddens we've had a break. I'm pretty sure we've had like a few, at least a week or two where the season ended. We had some time. I'm not sure. Maybe not last time.
No, we had like almost like a few weeks. Yeah, we had like 2 months last time because of the scouting thing. And because we ended our final season ended like early July and we just called it right there.
Oh, yeah. All right. But
that was like 3 months actually because we had July, August, and September because we waited till October.
I think waiting too long also hurt a little bit because I like to get the game.
I was talking about that with Miles before, actually. Yeah, because we were all, we're so excited right now, right? We're doing the podcast. We're all hyped this week because Madden's about to come out. So we all got hyped. We did team selection, and then 2 months we just waited.
We just waited. Yeah,
We
I mean,
lost a lot of users that way too. Some of those guys we had sitting in chat just kind of left or stopped caring. Other people lost their excitement.
Well, I feel like the thing with I'm hoping with the new Madden, if it's more defensive, I feel like if people aren't talented offensive, they at least stay in games maybe. Because I think that's the problem. We have guys. Our league is half very good and then half. No offense to them, but if you're one of those guys, you don't want to compete with people like Miles, you, me, Ray every fucking week. That's tough.
Yeah, you're right. Offense was too good this year.
It's too good.
So the good years, like I said, me and Bobby had a 79-78 game. I keep mentioning this because we're talking about everyone said the same thing you said about offense. We had a 79-78 game in season 11 where both of us have been rusty and not playing. That shouldn't happen ever.
Not even that. It's happening too frequently. Like
that too. Yeah, it's not even a surprise.
It's not I feel like it should be a reward. Like, oh fuck yeah, my team played amazing and we got 60 points. Like, it shouldn't be every week I'm scoring 50 points and I'm pretty much running the same. I don't have to change anything. Like, I don't have to think my way through a problem. I'm just like, oh, all right, the corner's just not going to be here because they suck. So like, it's easy. It's just too easy. Where I feel like past Maddens, at least, I don't know. Even if they were bad past Maddens, but I feel like this Madden is they're just useless in some places. Like corner rounds, you could throw a deep corner round and nobody is fucking there. You'll have a deep purple and no one will be on that side.
Or you just lead it down. You lead it down to the outside and the receiver comes up to it and the corner can't come back to it.
Well, no, you'll have a deep purple and you'll have him set in the coach can adjustments to like 25 yards to play it back. And he'll just stand there. He'll just be like at the 15 yards back, just standing there. No one's on his
It's more to scare them. You're right. It's more to scare them into not throwing because someone's there. But by season 5, everyone realized, hey, those guys aren't going to animate or jump.
Yes, they're not going to move.
So I'm just going to throw it anyways. And that's the problem. We've gotten so good at knowing exactly how to break this game now that people do really dumb things, but you're realizing it's not really dumb. We've already learned that that's going to work. That's going to be open all game.
Yeah, tons of things worked this year. But I feel like the last few Maddens, like the Madden before this, it was just the swerve that worked really good. And you could do other things, but they weren't super OP. Where like the swerve was OP. But this year, I feel like there's tons of shit that's OP.
But the running game the running game sucked this year. I did not like it. And then once we added the abilities back,
I don't think it sucked. I just think they got rid of the swerve. You could still be successful with it.
No, but the inside stuff and outside stuff killed it again.
Oh, well, I think that was more of a league thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. In NRG, we killed the run, which made us go higher to pass.
I do think because I'll play Bobby and we won't run at all. It's just passing this whole game. And he might run it when he's playing a lot more tactical and beating my ass.
In the playoffs, we run a bit more, but in the regular season, no
in the playoff. But regular season, I don't even run. I have Josh Jacobs. I don't even bother. I don't even fucking bother. There's just no point.
The first 4 seasons in the playoffs, me and you were having those 2021 playoff battles, killing clock, running the ball.
Before we changed it, the rule to make abilities whatever for any position, you could add as many as you want. Josh Jacobs carried me through every playoff because he was just running the ball and taking over games. So now I
think that's part of it too. We had to get away from the run, and then people started to realize, shit, you can just pass all game. I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it before. I used to think okay, let's not pass all game. But then when the run started getting stuffed, I was like, all right. So I just started calling. I'm doing Ask Madden, calling random plays, and I'm just open. I didn't even have to think about it.
Well, I just feel like a lot of the plays are either one, they're useless, you don't use them. They're just plays you'll never pick, or they're just plays that they're always going to work. I have tons of plays that just always work. It's not even multiple reads. I have 1 read and then 2 reads. That's it. And it's too easy. I feel like it's just way too easy. And I'm just looking forward to hopefully a struggle on offense. I just want to I want a nice 21 to 18.
I want a punt.
Comes down to the end. I want a punt, but I just want it to be.
I know, but I want to see a punt in the game. I want to see someone.
I feel like defense now, if you can get 1 or 2 lucky stops, you're oh, okay, I'm good. I won the game.
And that's the truth. If I force one dumb thing, you to run out of bounds on the scramble, or I dive tackle you behind the 4th and 3 to make you punt the ball, that's it. Game's over.
That's the thing. That's the thing too. I played Miles in the playoffs. And it was just a nonstop offensive game. I got 1 lucky fumble at the end of the game, and it's all right, game over. Because the defense, it's not going to replicate it often. Miles isn't going to come out and then wreck my guy on a game-winning drive. I just feel like it doesn't reward you for defense. Like there's so many times you'll be in position to pick a ball and then the guy just comes out of nowhere and mosses you. It'll be like Tyreek Hill. You'll be
And
like
it's heartbreaking because exactly like you're saying, like it's just a lucky break. So if you don't get that one pick, like that was the first time in 3 quarters you finally almost changed the tide, and that's it. You know you're not going to get it again.
Yeah, especially I hate that. Like you'll finally read a play, you'll jump in front of it, it'll hit your guy in the hands, he drops it, next play they score. I'm like, well, that was it. That was my break.
That was the game. Like it was 18-14. Like that was the half.
I understand if it was like a CPU jumping it and like he just dropped it, whatever, fuck him, I guess. But like if I'm jumping it or if I'm making the play and you're not going to reward me for making it, it's just like you're rewarding offense for bad decisions. And I just feel like I'm hoping the next Madden it's on both sides at least. If you're going to play offense recklessly, you should punish for it. Same with defense.
Yeah.
Like you can't blitz all game and then you bombed over the top. Like, oh, why didn't they do anything? Like I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. New game. It's like this every year.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great, and then it isn't when it comes out. So we'll see.
Your thoughts on Madden 22? Of course, you are the commish of the league, the de facto #1, I would say. So, from a commish standpoint, what was Madden 22? What were the difficulties of being commish? And then also talk from being the Niners and kind of choking as well.
Well, my thoughts on the franchise, I would say, is I'm just happy we did. There was no restarts this Madden. I feel like it was something that we always did by mistake some way or another. So going 10 seasons straight through, I was really happy about that. The difficulty was just this Madden, it was a lot of turnover. Whatever the reasons may be, we had a lot of guys come in, a lot of guys leave. So I mean, that was the main difficult thing for our league, I would say. We definitely need to work on that our next Madden, just increasing our core group of guys, because we got a good 17 guys that I feel like good about, but the rest of the league we need to do a better job in. But yeah, 10 seasons through, that was good. Performance wise, I obviously didn't I haven't won anything yet, but my background, that's the end of this season. That's what's gonna happen at the end of this season.
Save that for bold comments. No, you did dominate this Madden in terms of regular season, but the playoffs.
There's only one person in this Madden that's beaten me more times than I've beaten them, and that it's only one person.
Trav, right?
No, Trav. I've beaten that guy 30 times already.
Oh, Bobby, who's beating you?
No, hell no. It's fucking someone you wouldn't even expect. It's the Raiders.
Really? Reed's beating you?
Yeah, Raiders is beating. We've only played 4 times. He's beaten me 3 times. But I mean, none of that matters. Everyone, at the end of the day, no one's gonna remember. Oh, I lost to him 10 times. I beat him only this time. Everyone's just gonna look at the banner. So I gotta make sure I win one this
Hey, you have the team for it. I don't know what rookie you guys got, but is the team improving that much going into this next Madden or no?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a lot of, and I'll build it a different way. But I'll have 2 rookie corners that I'll probably start right away, along with Mosley, and I got a rookie defensive end that should be pretty good to start opposite Bosa, so that would help. And then the linebackers, my third linebacker, I already have him now. I don't need to draft one, so it'll be Greenlaw, Warner, and Aziz Al-Shair, who I could start. He's young and he's fast, so I can start him right away. So the team, I think I'm feeling pretty good about the team. This Madden, though, was my best Madden team ever. I haven't won yet. I've never had
The Niners were loaded from day one, and they only got better because of how young a lot of your core players obviously are. I mean, the quarterback's what matters. You had, a 20-year-old, 21-year-old quarterback, the whole franchise.
Yeah, and then he went from fucking 70, I think it was a 77 overall to start, or something like 76. And I got him to 99 right away. And just, this is the best team I ever had. So it's disappointing that I haven't won anything yet.
Talking Madden 23 again, as a commish standpoint, there was a lot of glitches this franchise. Obviously, it made it being a commish a lot harder, dealing with the free agency problems we had, like with the glitch with if you joined halfway through, dealing with not having a 31 user, 31st and stuff. So
I'll say I busted out a White Claw for you. I'm not a redhead, so
yeah, I know that's. I mean, could be the lighting. Playing Madden 23 with us, what would be your top team that's not the Vikings?
I mean, first of all, I won't be because I'm moving to South Carolina in October. So I'm not going to join, and I'm going to be starting a new job. So I don't want to join and then have to leave it right away again. So I'll be out for a while. But in Madden 23, my top team would probably be the Dolphins, just because.
You like that speed, right?
Yeah, I mean, besides Tua, that team is loaded. I mean, if you look on defense, their DBs, their wide receivers, everything, every position that you want in Madden is loaded. Loaded. They even got a good D line. I mean, it's nice, but I mean, yeah, Tua's the one. Tua's the one question, to be honest. But if you know what you're doing, you'll be fine. I'm sure they can be top 10 for sure, maybe top 5. So that user is going to know what they're doing with them. So
If Tua had a 90 throw power or even 89, I'd say I think that team would have been a top 5 pick.
Yeah, 90 is about where it cuts off for me, to be honest. Like if you're below 90,
it depends on the Madden though, because some Maddens throw power
true.
has been how far you could throw it. Some Maddens have been how fast you throw it. So if every quarterback can throw far, maybe you don't mind the decreased velocity. But if it's about throwing deep, no point to have Tyreek and Waddle if you can't throw over 40 yards. So I don't really
But I
have
mean,
to play this new Madden.
if you've got Tyreek and Waddle, you're going deep, right? I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you're gonna be throwing those crossers where you're trying to hit it real quick in between the safeties. So if you can't throw
this new
fast,
Madden might be different though. It might be different. You might be able to, you might not be able to get deep like you could last Madden. So
we're gonna know a lot.
Yeah,
but we're gonna know a lot in about a week or so. When that game drops, we're gonna play a bunch of scrims with a bunch of people, and we're gonna know real fast whether or not throw power matters, whether height matters or speed matters. That makes a big difference, right? If it's a year of height, right, where it's face catching again, rocket catching, the Falcons suddenly are a really good team. You got Kyle Pitts, Drake London, right? Those tall, big, young guys. So
then
it really
they got
depends.
that 6'4" dude on defense.
That's what I'm saying. If height matters more this year, because they said mismatches will matter, suddenly the Falcons are a lot better. If it's another speed year, the Dolphins are good. If it's a throw power year, suddenly Burrow and Tua aren't exactly that enticing. So we'll know a lot soon. Now, in terms of 22, how long did you play this year?
I played, what was it, till spring, I believe.
And what team were you, the Vikings?
5-6 seasons. Yeah. I was on and off too. It's just my work schedule. The job I have now requires me to it's crazy, dude. Like some days I'll work 4 hours, some days I'll work 16. It's just, and you called me APM Joey for a long time. And honestly, it was pretty accurate. Like it's just tough to schedule games. Like it is. So, I mean, it's been that way for the past like 5 years for me, honestly. Like, I mean, people give me shit because I ain't finished Madden, but I mean, it's been the same thing for me. I always try to come back. I always try to play when I can. And honestly, I feel like when I play, I compete a lot better than some of the people in the league. But the thing for me is I just always get busy. And then summer for me, especially living in Michigan, is rough because, it's golf season, that kind of stuff. So
at least you take yourself out of the equation. Some guys just leave their account hanging in the chat and don't actually play their games. And then eventually Rage has to kick you and it kind of leaves things on a bad note. At least you take yourself out before it happens.
I've always been a league first guy. I mean, for sure. So
no, that's part of the reason why when you do come back, like Ray usually will still toss you above some of the guys who have been here just because like those guys are here for the final 3 months, but you've been here for 5 years. So, that's part of the reason.
And I'm always talking to him too, just letting him know where I'm at and stuff like that. So I've never just up and bounced or got kicked or anything like that. So
that's definitely important. Of course. Oh, hold up. Cheers opened up. That's definitely important. And it would be cool to see you back at some point. We do need some more quality users, of course. I mean, things change, Everyone's getting older. At some point, it's gonna come a day where Sean's just like way too old to be in this league with us, and Ray has like, his kids are getting old. It's gonna get to a point where it starts getting weird that we just like all have kids chilling in here, and like maybe, I mean, a lot of them do have kids, but point where like your kids are playing Madden, and it's kind of like, wait, should we not be here?
I think Raiders is almost there.
Me too. You've been big into Mutt this year, so clearly maybe franchise wasn't your focus. What's your takeaway from this year in terms of what you've actually paid attention to with the Cowboys and just how you felt, how you feel about franchise in the game?
This franchise, I kind of took a step back, wanted to dive in the Mutt and kind of focus on that. Tried to bring too much stuff into the franchise, and that was like not a good idea because this is not one of the best Maddens, Mutt or franchise wise. And so I just said, screw it. Fuck it.
Yeah, I honestly didn't. I thought when we first started this year, when we played the beta, like the gameplay felt nice. Now it's very possible there's just a lot of patching and like buffing and nerfing of things that changed the game. But in the beginning, it felt pretty good. But I don't know if we just got all really good at this game. It got kind of stupid towards the end, like the way there was no
Yeah.
defense, the way the game played. I just didn't like it towards the second half.
Yeah, I feel the same as that way. It does, like, you could be in a zone, man. You just run across your face and nobody reacts to the ball. So
Yeah, no, this final last few seasons of franchise has just been straight offense. We're having people breaking every record, 800 yard games. It wasn't as enjoyable as it was in the first half.
now that is I'm kind of excited about with the new Madden because I don't think nobody's going to be getting like 600, 800 yards passing the game.
They said they're not touching the beta, which they usually say that, and they usually still, once people start bitching, they fix it. But if things stay the way it is, I do like it more. I feel like we'll actually like incorporate, if you have a bad offensive line, you're gonna have to incorporate a quicker offensive game. If you have a really good one, you can incorporate more of a run and a longer game. So hopefully that does play a part.
Because when me and you played, you saw how D line was like, and I don't even
I
have
couldn't
no
even
superstars
move.
on the D line.
Yeah, Parsons was coming in.
So it's like I'm really excited about that because it's going to humble a lot of people.
That's exactly what Miles said, actually. Yeah, it's gonna be a different. It could increase the skill gap because I was talking to Miles about this. I feel as though Madden took like the Fortnite route this year. Like maybe
Yeah,
the best way to grow it. Yeah,
it was a little too arcadey, so to speak.
it just appealed to the casuals. I feel like they said, the past few years have been very competitive in skill gap. Let's change it. Let's make it so everyone can compete.
That's the same thing with Mutt. It wasn't as difficult as it used to be. Now it was just easy.
You said to yourself, you're just at the top tier of the rankings in Mutt just by casually playing here and there when you want to. That used to take like the best team in the game.
Oh wow!
Every glitch in the game, every weird formation, bunch all game. That used to require such a sweat and dedication to be at the top tier of Mutt all year. And now it wasn't.
You used to have an entire scheme. Like remember that near far scheme everybody was using?
With the close fullback and the guy to the side of the line. Yeah,
you don't even have to do that anymore to try to scheme and win.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, just run around with escape, come out a bunch a lot, block the tight end on the blitzes that are going to be cheesy. The first question. So we have Madden 22 franchise. So we're going to be talking in terms of you being the Chargers all franchise. In terms of kind of how the year went for you as a competitor, how it went as far as building the Chargers and what you kind of did off, behind the scenes that maybe people didn't see, and what you thought about franchise as a whole compared to past Maddens where you may have liked more, you may have liked less.
Yeah, I think franchise went well for me at least. Got that Super Bowl, controversial, but got it. Yeah, I made a few nice little trades, signed Jamar Chase at the end, just to have a little fun, and I think I fleeced you in a trade, to be honest, but it worked out for both of us, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think Madden was pretty bad, but it's Madden, so nothing new.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the league, would you say franchise 22 was horrible?
Oh yeah, it was awful. Like the new scouting wasn't what they advertised. It really didn't change that much once you got the hang of it. Like I was able to figure it out pretty quick. And,
yeah, but I feel like it did ruin a few early seasons when no one knew how to properly assign scouts. They were having glitches where you'd assign them and it like would reset. Other stuff you deal with.
Yeah, I tested that a lot because I play a lot of franchise, but so it really didn't affect me. But
yeah,
I could see how it was good for some people and bad, but it's Madden. At least it was something new. But I'm hoping it looks like they're revamping it all. I haven't really played the new Madden at all.
Did you like being the Chargers? Would you say that's one of your better experiences with the team or no?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, yeah, Herbert was fun at the beginning, but his accuracy went to shit. So moved on from him. But team was a lot of turnover. Main best player was Derwin throughout, so I was looking forward to using him. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Team was pretty boring until I got away from you.
How about your division? You gonna miss the guys?
No. I don't like playing Jack or JTC, as you guys know. He knows me pretty well, my game at least, so he's able to predict what I'm going to do.
How about real talk? You don't miss the hour-and-a-half long games?
No. He was actually my favorite person to play. I feel like he adjusted the most out of all of them. Like, brought something new at least every game. Didn't run bunch every play. So, yeah. I'll miss the Raiders though. It was a very active division compared to some other ones, so that was actually pretty fun.
I mean, yeah, it's
Never knew who was
competitive,
gonna
but
win it.
it's sometimes better than having that division with the two CPU teams and the one guy who doesn't say a word, and like you get no fun out of the 8 games you play, or however many games, 6 games.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it was a pretty tight division throughout. Really, no one controlled it.
A Madden 22 franchise. Now, this relates to more than just, you being the Chiefs. Like, what do you think about the year, like the Madden as a whole, the glitches we dealt with, the 30-second user not working, and kind of just your experience picking the Chiefs, right? That's probably one of the best teams you picked since at least I've been here. So,
No introductions?
no,
No?
good to
All
go.
right. Well, left on the board was the Chiefs, so that's why I decided to pick. Wasn't going to go with the Packers' fucked up cap situation. So just decided to go with the best team on the board and one of the easier divisions with the Raiders in it.
I'm assuming Tyreek Hill and Hardman probably changed your mind going forward about the way you play Madden in terms of your team next year.
Well, my strategy has always been a chuck and pray kind of strategy. Don't have really the best internet, so I really just gotta throw it up and see if I catch it.
Is that going to change for you now in Madden 23? You're going to be aiming for teams that have some speed now?
We'll get onto that later in the interview, but
all right.
yeah.
So as far as all the glitches, did that turn you off a little bit this year? Because I feel like that hurt our league a little bit. All the problems we dealt with, like, kind of killed our bottom half of the league, and the top half really were just into it because obviously we're the top half of the league.
Well, I didn't really use any ebooks this year like a lot of the other people, but man's man. There's always going to be glitches, so you just got to deal with them.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest one that I think bothered a lot of people obviously was us not getting the last user in, the salary cap issues, like not being able to resign players. Like that obviously was a big problem to the point where Ray had to actually make a ruling that he won't help anyone anymore, which definitely killed a lot of users who are too lazy to handle their signings, which is obviously a user problem, but still Madden shouldn't have a problem like that to begin with.
Yeah, it's getting kind of ridiculous. Probably the main reason I don't actually pay for the Madden. I just game share with a friend.
Yeah. Now, thoughts for Madden 23 franchise based on what you've read, and this one's more focused on NRG. Like, what are you excited for? Like, where do you think you'll probably be picking? And kind of an idea of like, do you like the landscape of the teams for 23 in a franchise, and do you have high hopes for the game?
Oh, I 100% do. The beginning of every Madden is always the most fun. You're starting off on a like fresh noob, like fresh blank, like you're set. Like you start off your team, you get to do what you want with it. It's always fun when people move around divisions. There's always like those 10 guys who stay with those teams that they always want to play with, and they always get the OP teams. But with how football is in real life and how Madden ratings are, like if you're stuck with say like the Giants, like I wouldn't mind using Daniel Jones for a couple seasons. He's fast player. He's a decent quarterback. But then again, too, like a lot of teams are getting a lot better. There's only like we could both agree a couple Maddens ago, there's probably like 7 teams you did not want to use. And now there's probably only like 2 or 3 or 4 teams that you actually don't want to use.
I don't even know if there's one that I genuinely could get stuck with and I'd be upset. Like even on the bottom of my list, like the Chicago Bears, like I'd still be happy to have Justin Fields in a brand new Madden. Like I'd like with the way the rookies have been coming out with the better classes and stuff, or at least classes for Madden, right? Like Malik Willis may not be great in real life, let's just say, but even the Titans, who I would never have picked before, it's like 93 speed, 95 throw power, like on a rookie quarterback, like 20 years old, 21 years old. So I think this is the one year in a long time where all 32 teams just about I might be okay with. And now the Rams usually are bottom of my list because I don't like taking a dead end quarterback. But even them, they're the Super Bowl winners. They might have one of the highest rated rosters. They're going to have, Ramsey Donald, best defensive lineman cornerback. Like I don't see a bad team this year. I really don't. I think your rebuild process may last longer, but it's going to be fun rebuilding. It's not a dead end rebuild like taking the Lions in the past where there was just nothing, right?
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to mention is how what was it? Oh yeah, like it's mostly now when we're picking, like I honestly feel like I'm taking like who's in the division. That matters way more now. Like I'd rather pick a team that's a little bit worse, knowing that this division only has one extremely elite user, and that's about it. My chances are better at winning football games. Because again, like I can be the third person in the division, take the Cardinals, but I know the Rams are going to be there, and someone who's good might take the Rams, and then Commissioner Ray is going to be taking the Niners. Just like, ooh, that's tough competition. At the end of the day, though, if the Rams were in the AFC South, or if the Cardinals were in the AFC South, that team would be going top 5 easily. So yeah, like divisions matter a lot more too. So yeah, it's like that's
a lot of people take that route now too, because you've seen in past years, right? There's certain users who in the regular season you are never scared of. You're going to beat them. But then you watch these users come into the playoffs and they're like a Cinderella story and they just win the whole way out and win a bowl. You know what? Like Trav always says this, like, just got to make the dance, right? Like anyone can win on any given Sunday in the playoffs. Regular season is different, right? 17 games. It's more relaxed vibes. The better player usually wins outside of some stupidity. But the playoffs, I've seen guys like, we've seen Matt B, the Chargers, right, come in, like, had no expectations, and then suddenly he's in the bowl, right, and he wins it. We've seen plenty of guys of Cinderella runs. So, no, exactly. Some people have made playoffs yearly being in, like, the AFC East and having no one else there. Like, let's say Sean is the Bills. Yeah, he had Ryan, but Ryan got kicked, and he was the Jets, right? But it's just a straight shot every year. Guaranteed top 4 seed. Like, it's going to be there for you. All you got to do, you could just really focus on dev games and regular season development versus, like, I've been in divisions with, like, B-Car, Spida. I've had, like, Miles as the Jaguars, a loaded AFC where every game felt like a playoff game to me. And I couldn't focus on, stat padding and building. I just had to try to win the game. So I think that's super important for 23 now. All right. So let's talk Madden 23 franchise. As far as you probably read the feedback yesterday going over what they plan to fix. You probably played a little bit of the beta. What are you thinking about for Madden 23 as far as you being the Ravens? What do you think is going to be a strong suit compared to how they're changing the game? What are you looking forward to? And kind of just like, what are your thoughts for this new game franchise wise?
Man, I think defense, bro. Defense is the one thing that's, really sticking out to me, especially when I played the better. Just overall coverage has gotten a lot better, the pass rush and everything. And, if anybody knows football, the Ravens is all about defense. And, we made some good moves in the offseason this year with acquiring Marcus Williams at safety. We got Kyle Hamilton, of course, at safety in the draft. And then we also picked up Kyle Fuller as well, who's a solid corner and everything, a vet that should be able to help out. So I'm very excited about, what we can do defensively, especially with the new tune-ups and everything from Madden 23. Offensively, I'm a little worried. I don't know if Lamar's accuracy is going to be there right away, so I'm not there really work that into play. But I think, if I can get the ground game going a little bit, get it, adjusted to the new engine and so forth, I think we'll be all right, to start out. But like I said, defensively, man, I'm so excited to see what we can do from a secondary standpoint, and obviously from a pass rush standpoint with Oway. We got the new kid from Michigan as well in the draft. So I'm looking forward to building those two guys up and, really getting out there on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I think the Ravens are going to be good. I think the biggest thing I got from the beta was that wide receivers matter with improved pass coverage. So the only thing I could see being a deficiency is that you're going to start with a guy that can't route run, has no abilities. So you're going to really have to work the ground game because it might be very hard to sit back in that pocket.
Right, and that's going to be tough, man, because, obviously this year I started with the Cardinals and, you got Nuke Hopkins, who's one of the best receivers in the NFL,
Yeah, you've been pretty pass heavy this year, actually. Like really successful in that game.
Right. I had to switch up because, usually I run the ball a lot more. But, I had to pretty much recognize the strengths and weaknesses of the Cardinals. And, obviously passing was one of the strengths. So, I had to adjust to that. But definitely, like you said, from a passing standpoint with the Ravens, it's going to definitely be like a challenge because, I'm starting with like Bateman and Porsche and Devin as well. So, those guys are like, 70s at the best right now. So it's going to be, a challenge, but I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I can get Mark Andrews involved and just try and build from there, man.
He might get superstar. If he does, he would be a much better tight end to start with.
Yeah, he's gonna have superstar. Already ran on that shit. So yeah, we good there.
All right, so 23. You played the beta, right?
I played 2 games.
Did you read the feedback?
So I didn't want to. Yeah, so I read the feedback and I listened to Eric, his video he dropped yesterday, I think like 13 hours ago or some shit like that. So that's what I'm saying. I'm excited. And I know this is a cliche. Something I probably say every season. But I do think Madden 23 will work in my favor without the animations. Because a lot of stuff that I lack at skill-wise is figuring out the animations. Like Kev will fucking throw to these 6'5", 6'6" receivers he used to have, and I could not stop it at all. It was just
he still does it. We just played. He always gets it on me, and I don't play like that. I've never been an animation guy. I've always been like, I know Lamar's faster. I'm gonna outrun you. I know my wide receivers are fast. I know when to throw. I'm a good timing guy. I've never been good at
Yeah.
actually taking, like, outside of Chark, that was just a bad year for deep balls in general. But yeah, I've never been good at that either. So same thing with pass rush being better. I never get pressure. I don't know about you. I've never been good at getting pressure. So if pass rush is generically better, it'll make it a lot easier for me to just get good pass rushers and let them do work, you know?
And that's what it is. So if pass rush is gonna be better, and for how I play, you know, I think it's gonna work in my favor. I just, you know, the beta, I think I played Trav. Trav or Miles, one of them, but they beat the shit out of me. They whooped my ass because that new passing shit, I didn't turn it to classic, so I was struggling with that. But the movement and all the feedback I'm hearing from like Eric Rayweather in the community and stuff, like I do think it's going to be a good year, more realistic for sure. And that's what kind of got me thinking about going back to Atlanta is, you know, Drake London, Pitts, like all our receivers are 6'5". So if animation is out the game,
And you read the
I should
mismatch
win
thing,
more.
right?
Yeah, so I should be winning more jump balls. So it's a lot to look at with Atlanta right now. It's just I fucking hate our safeties. And that's really the only reason I'm not growing or I'm not
At
locked
least you're
in
good at
is the
usering that
safety.
though. So that's probably the easiest thing for you to build. Like I always pick a team with position scarcity where I can build it because I don't like taking teams where like I'm great at building running backs and wide receivers. So I don't like picking teams with them already because I can't build
Yeah.
defense. I'm a good defensive user, but I suck at actually like putting them in position for stats. I'm more user, you know?
Yeah.
But in terms of franchise, I think all they got to do is fix the glitches. If we don't have an empty team glitch, a draft freezing glitch, we don't have all that stuff, it'll be fine. And getting users day one will be important. I don't want a situation where people are joining season 2 and 3 and then keep leaving, you know, recycling teams all year.
So I think this happens every year though. Like I guarantee once the game comes out, people are going to be desperate looking for good leagues. So I know we'll fill up. I just hope we fill up with quality users because there's teams out there. Like I know lie. Like last night was thinking of taking a team that hasn't like the Steelers that nobody wants to play with and just seeing if I can do something with them. But at the same time, like that shit comes with a lot of stress, a lot of shit talking from y'all during the rebuild. And I feel like I'm past those days. I'm a little older now, so I want to have some fun. But at the same time, I do like rebuilding too, because with the good teams that start off good, they usually, you know, are older faster. So, you know, my team is able to stay together. I think I built, for the most part, I drafted most of them guys around season 3. And I was able to keep that team. That's why we're so good. I was able to keep that same roster and develop them for the last 5 years, as
Yeah, I
opposed to
think
like
that's
getting a
important.
beard.
Yeah, because that's
Yeah,
probably why you were
getting
so invested even in season 10, because like having the Ravens from the start, I've had the same core for so long that I got bored of it. But we're too late now for me to exactly like you're saying rebuild because it's so late in franchise. It would be stupid to just be invested in rebuilding players just to end soon. So yeah, moving on. Thoughts for Madden 23 franchise for your not so much like what team you're gonna pick yet and everything, but more so from what you read from the beta feedback and all that stuff, like and playing the beta, of course, too. What do you think about the game and kind of what could be improved that would help?
I'm excited. It looks fun. It is fun so far. Sounds like they're making a lot of adjustments, which is good. A lot of good adjustments. The defense seems like it's a lot more balanced. Offenses seem a little slower, which is a little different, but it's better than what it was, I think. I think it'll be interesting to see like how people evolve their offenses, how people change their defenses, because they're going to move a lot different. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm definitely looking forward to this one more than I was this past one, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking for a chess match, honestly. I know coming from me, that sounds horrible because the way I play is kind of like complete asshole. Like, so in terms of chess match, I know like it sounds weird for me, but I only just play to what the game gives me. If the game gives me a glitched hot route master, a glitched escape artist, I'm going to abuse it. If it gives me DJ Chark who can catch everything, I'm going to abuse it. So next game, I'm really hoping it forces me to actually run the ball. No one in the second half of this franchise ran the ball. Once we switched abilities and everything, the run game wasn't great to begin with this year, in my opinion. It was very slow, no agility. It was much easier for the defense to stop it. And then once we had abilities, it made it worse. So I do like that we're keeping abilities open. I just hope we maybe make it no repeats on defense and offense like we had it in the past. I think that would alleviate.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think we gave the abilities like the duplicates way too soon. I think having 9 acrobats on defense in season 6 and 7 was a little too much. Just
Yeah, and we already
to,
super debbed our teams. So it's like it was just like a sandbox game. Like just pull you out together. Now again, we asked Ray for this. That's no shame on the commissioner for giving it. It's more so that maybe we need a restriction on it just because if we do go 11 years, clearly teams get too crazy, which again is what they said last reasoning, like for why they took it away was part of it. But all in all, I'm excited for it. I think it'll be fun as long as we can keep a solid group of people together. Because honestly, the league's only as fun as the least fun people in it, right?
Yeah.
If even our worst users are talking, like, we have Steels in there and some of those guys, like, even when they're talking, like, that's just fun to me. I don't like when it's like the same five, like me, you, Spida, Miles, Ray, like when it's the same few, Sean, it's like, yeah, we can keep speaking to each other, but I'd like for the whole league to be interactive. 3, you played the beta, you read the closed feedback. You're obviously planning out some teams. Like, what are you looking forward to? And what do you think the key to success in 23 is going to be?
Defense. It's gonna be defense. You have to really like make reads on offense. That's why I say it's gonna expose a lot of people because I think the pass rush is gonna be better. And I think with the zones, and I don't know how man gonna be. Man was okay. He wasn't that bad in the beta, but I think with the zones, just the way the DBs, how they react, is a whole lot better. It's more realistic. So we just gotta wait and see. But I think it's gonna be more about defense this year. I think once they kind of get a couple of patches out, they're gonna make it with offense. You still be able to score. It just won't be like OD how it was this Madden. I think they're gonna fix the defense up a little bit. So I'm excited for that, most definitely.
Yeah, it seemed a lot tighter. I would say that. So like when I was playing again these last few games this final season, I feel like I'm really noticing all my wide receivers have like 6 yards of separation from every defender at all times. Like it's just too easy to play offense right now.
It's too easy. Like I said,
just don't do some stupid shit. Just like if you don't do something stupid, you're good.
Yeah, like I played against the Chiefs. No disrespect, he's trash. He's horrible. But because he got Kansas City, with those receivers and the speed and all that, like we kept going back and forth because I know user-wise it ain't even close. But because of the people who we have, it made it a competitive game. Like, so yeah, it's crazy. Like I said before, I'm just ready for Madden 23. That's all I can say.
Madden took the Fortnite route this year, like the try to kill out the skill gap so that everyone like
enjoy
it. And it was very
catered to a lot of those users. The not really the competitive users, just the people that just casually play the game. It's not that good.
It was a real casual year. Which if you read that blog post of the forum, they said that they're going to be the most polished Madden, right? Like what they're pretty much saying, in other words, is that they're trying to go back to football and not appeal to casuals because honestly, Madden's a small community as it is, like compared to like 2K and Call of Duty, right? And they really pissed off a lot of their hardcore users this year. And the casuals come and go. If you're a casual football fan, you'll play Madden 1 year, playing 3 more years. I think they're going to appeal to us again.
Right. And that need to be the main goal. Like I said, they've said a lot of stuff over the past years, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
That's my other problem. How much of that's just wordplay and coach talk type shit, like just saying stuff to say stuff just to shut us up.
Yeah, like that to me now. Show me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But the beta felt better. It did feel better.
The beta was crazy. I was like, okay, like they might need to kind of tone down the block shedding just a little bit. But defensively, I mean, even offense, I mean, you still could throw the ball, but you really gotta like sit back and make reads. Like it ain't where you got 2 or 3 people, like you said, wide open or 8 yards of separation where it's so easy. Like, now you really got to make the right read. Like,
and there was a lot of hand play. Like, I mean, you've probably seen this in this game. So if you're running a cover 3, right? Let's say you have the shell with 2 flats and 2 deeps. There's just like 15 yards between the 2. And the corner sits in their exact circle. They don't move outside of that, which is why it was so easy this year to just playmaker above it and whatever, send people that way. In this one, like if you're running a comeback route on a deep blue, I saw a hand play and like the receiver actually like made a move off the corner. So exactly, you got to make the read. You got to time that. Versus in this Madden, like you just wait for the comeback to come back and the corner won't come up with it. He just sits behind it. The other corner sits down and you just have that space. Like I wasn't seeing that, which I do like.
Yeah. It's definitely, they play, like I said, with those crossing routes. I got my little go-to play that when my deep cross can get open, the only way you can stop it is if you use it. So like now they got it now where instead of that safety or whoever is just letting them just cross his face, like now they're running with him, like they're reacting to it. So a lot of those go-to plays that people have had or that that got or whatever now, it's gonna be a little tough, especially if you got speed on the defense side of the ball. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So
23 franchise. I mean, again, as a commission, talk about what you're excited about, and also if you read the closed beta feedback, like in regards to what they're gonna fix. What did you read in that beta feedback that you're like, okay, this is cool. It gives a cool feature. And what do you expect for 23?
I really like that they said they were going to change the game. People weren't gonna bitch day one and be like, and then they were gonna like, we're just gonna cave with like. I feel like last year out the gate, zones were at least they weren't great, but they were at least smarter. And then the community was like, oh no, they're too hard, and they just destroyed them. And like, I'm just like, don't touch it. Don't you're releasing this game. Just leave it alone and let it play out. Like let people learn a new game. That's the whole thing about Madden. Everyone says it's the same thing every year. Well, let them learn a new fucking way to play. I don't know. Like I'm excited to play a different offensively and maybe find some new defensive formations that I might have to get. Like you know what I mean? I want the game to be different.
I want to switch formations. Yeah, I don't want to have to sit nickel all game because if I come out in 3-4 one time, a tight end seams me for 50 yards. Like I can't come out in 3-4.
Well, I want them to react the way they should be. I don't want, especially if I'm manually moving people and like changing their zone on the field, and then they're still just standing. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, I'm even fixing what you're supposed to be doing, and you're not doing.
Yeah, their purple is actually at the sideline out of bounds, and for whatever reason, the corner route's being caught exactly where it is.
You'll put like a hook zone in the middle of the field, like 15 yards back, but he gets like caught on the tight end on like a total of 5 yards in, and he just stands there. I'm like, dude, you're not even doing. I didn't tell you to do that. Like. You're like I don't know. I just like the awareness is dumb. Like they'll be running with a corner, like they'll be running with a corner out,
and then they come back in. They just run back in.
Stop. They're like, oh, that's not my zone anymore. I'm like, no, you're the only one covering them. Like, just have some awareness. Like
that happens all the time. People just wait till the corner finishes.
Yeah, we have this. They have this awareness rating. I feel like everyone's at like a 10 at all times. Like, and on defense mostly.
Yeah, on offense this year, everyone was like Tyreek Hill and Mahomes. No joke. Like. Offense felt like 100% speed and defense felt 50. Like my user could have been a 95 speed Isaiah Simmons, and he did not keep up with a 91 overall speed tight end. Like
Jake Jacobs is outrunning people. I'm not saying Jacobs is a bad bag. I like Jacobs, but like he's not fast.
87 speed. He should get ran down. He should be able to get between the yardage and the first.
If I can get in open field with Jacobs, for some reason he outruns everybody. I'm just like, all right, whatever. I don't care who you have. But. I just think, like with 23, I don't want him to change anything. I like that the pass rush is supposed to be vicious, even though like I played very mobile in 22 when it comes to quarterback. I like the change. Like I want, like I said,
I'm ready to play a real offense, like actually play chess again. I told Miles this today when we were talking because, people like to say again for me, if we're talking about me here and you too, all we do is throw to our backs. All we do is run with the quarterback, right? Specifically me, all I do is run with my quarterback. But if you really remember, it's not that we run with our quarterback. We just play to what Madden gives us. So in Madden 20, when we played. Read options were really good. Throwing to your running back was really good. Mossing people was good.
Well, that's the thing though. Like people that say that, I feel like are the people that are you're beating with it. Like I'll play Ray, and he's not going to be like, oh, dude, all you do is throw to your running because he'll stop it. Like he's not just going to allow me. Like there's certain things you can't just stop because it's Madden. There's things that are going to happen. Like you're going to have your players running to each other when you're running a route in the same direction, and then you're like, all right, well that play's dead. Because they both just fucking hump each other in the middle of the field. When I feel like the awareness, they should at least weave. And like, it's just, I don't know. I don't understand why, like, that should be an easy thing to fix. Like, you're running two drags and they just bump into each other and just sit there. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you're
hate
both
that? They keep running in place into each other like that.
Yeah,
and you're just sitting in the pocket trying to because someone's gonna be open, then you get sacked.
And dude, and that's your whole play. You're like, all right, I'm gonna double drag this play.
Yeah, it was a mesh play, right? Yeah, double drag.
Yeah, or just like that's just what you wanted to do, just get a few yards, and then you're like, all right, well, that was my read. Like,
or you throw it right as they release, and then gets jumped because the defense got in front of it already.
Yeah, and then it's too late then. I always hate those.
But yeah, so what I was saying was like, you got to adjust to every game, and that's what we're saying. Like, yeah, most people like remember when they said, okay, play cool down and more offensive Madden, like Sean's dead, right? Like can't change. Like that's one of those things that in 20 it was good to streak the ball. In 21 it was good to swerve the ball. You never adjusted to the swerve, so you sucked in 21 for the most part. You weren't that competitive
on defense. Yeah. On defense,
that's what I'm saying. You were a big stick guy. You didn't know how to conservatively hold LT and just make the tackle.
I think I did in 21. I feel like I definitely came back to like getting in the playoffs and getting the Super Bowls. I wasn't competitive in winning anything.
No, with the Panthers you were good, but then
halfway
through, everyone discovered that the meta was play through your running backs, and the way you played was like your defense sucks at containing swerve. You were mainly like a run at me, hit stick, like all aggressive defender, and the swerve was really good to kill that.
Yeah, I still play like that.
So that's my point now. In 22, like in 23, sorry, it seems like it's gonna be more pass rush, slower, patient game. Me and you do not play. We don't play patient. We do dumb things.
No, it's boring.
Yeah, we may throw short routes, but we're quick. We make quick reads. We throw fast. We sprint a lot. We're like a circus act, right? So, but in 23, if the game requires me to be more patient and requires me to make better reads, I'm gonna do that. That's it.
Yeah, or I'm gonna suck. There's only two options. Like I'm either gonna change or I'm not. So like, there's
But
a
it's not like,
reason
yeah,
why
it's not
I'm
like we
gonna be
only play
playing a
one way.
lot.
Like we're not gonna, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
come out there next year.
Like
You're with Joe Burrow, let's say, and I'm with Daniel Jones. I'm not running out there scrambling every play.
every Madden I've at least changed in some way. Like last Madden I run big nickel the whole game. I didn't run it at all this year. Like I try to at least switch it up, mainly for me too. I just get bored. Like that's why I pick a new team. Like I can't, like I want to play as the Bills again. They look great, especially when they draft the fucking Cook, but it'll bore me, and I don't want to play in the snow. But some of the teams I'm looking at, man,
It's so funny.
they're
It was the
good.
biggest. It hindered you the most because you always saw me in the playoffs with the snow, and I'm running with Lamar all game. I was run heavy all game, and your team was way too slow to contain him now. And you're more like scramble out pass kind of guy, like to the short routes. You guys
Yeah,
are
I don't.
slipping.
I'll run if you give it to me, and like it's obvious. Like you're running man, and everyone's down. I'm not just gonna stand there. I'm not gonna wait. Like I'm gonna take off, but I'd rather get it like a nice deep ball or something like that. It's more enjoyable to me. But this year it just felt like contained. Like it was either good all game or it was trash.
Yeah,
Like
can we
there was
talk
no
about
in
that?
between.
Contains. It was the weirdest thing. Some people contain me all game, and they never get off the ends. I could just run around them all game, and I know they're containing me. They said they were doing it. I know they're doing it. I can tell that they're spreading their D line. Then I play certain people, and their contains would bull rush 7 yards down the field and almost sack me faster than regular pass rush. And at first, I used to think like, oh, they're watching YouTube, right? Like they must be looking up some certain formation. Maybe they did, like a wide nine. Like Ray used to do it, like the wide nine, but that's just football, right? Come out in a wider formation to contain. But some people would come out in 3-4 games. Some people got the 5-yard bull rush, and some people just got ran around like Lamar was Jesus Christ. I never understood the consistency with contains.
I thought I put it more on Madden. Like I would have games where my guys came out and flew, and the next game they'd come out, no pressure at all. I'm doing the same shit. They just weren't doing anything. So I put it on Madden.
It's like scripted, right? They just come out and it's like that game you're not going to be
there. Dude, it's fumble sacks. You would have no time to throw. Like it would be awesome. And then next game I'd play someone and they would do nothing, and they would get no pressure at all the whole game. So I think it was more of a Madden thing where it was just more of this like, all right, some games you're gonna do good, some you're not.
And that was a big problem in the playoffs for me and you both in the beginning. Like you remember that one game where Reed went up like 17-0 on me, the game that conceded me?
Yes.
In the first half, Max Crosby literally was pass rush, bull rushing off the corner contain. I couldn't run, so I ran into like 4 wall sacks right away, and I wasn't getting it because all first season that wasn't happening to me. I was just running around things. Second half, I realized, okay, if I double team Max Crosby, that's gonna, and then again, I could just double team it, and then I killed it again.
I just think if pass rush is like legit, like I don't mind if it's coming in every like 2 seconds if it's quick, because then like I said, my game has to change. I don't think there's gonna be like what's Keys. Sorry, I always fuck it up.
I think it's Keys, but I say Keis.
I think it's Keys. I always fuck it up. But he's saying too, like you're not gonna be passing for like 500 yards. I'm all right with that. Like I think it's gonna be cool to have like 80 yards rushing, maybe, and like 30 yards rushing with your backup running back, and then you have like 250 and a touchdown or two, but you're winning games. Like I feel like that struggle would be more worth it. Like I feel like I won the game more. Like now, like sometimes I'll be playing, I'll be like 50-20, and I'm like this. Like it's the third quarter. I'm like, I just want this to be over.
It used to be enjoyable to like, oh my god, Chark mossed him 3 times, going up 60. Like now it's like it's just it's gonna happen.
Yeah, you just know once someone's going off. And not even that, I just feel like the games are like playoff games. I feel like we're playing like the good comp in the playoffs, obviously, so they're a little closer against the good guys. But I feel like I feel like those like the grueling games where you're like, yo, this is just gonna come down to whoever makes one bad play. Like they're few and far between. I feel like, and it's not like off one bad play you made. It'll just be like. You'll
Madden.
be playing great all
it's
game.
literally like Madden making
Miles,
a few things in a row. Like instead of getting the first, they dropped you at 3rd and inches when you probably got that first, or dropping a wide open catch, or getting insta sack because the line didn't cover you. Stupid stuff.
Well, yeah, it's like I said in that last playoff game, Miles beat me. He played better than me all game, and then I come in, fucking lay him out, and he gets fumbled, and I could go on up and win. Madden gave I feel like that's a Madden occurrence. Like I laid a big hit on him and shit, but I laid a big hit on him all game. I didn't get a fumble. You gave it to me with fucking
on the weakest hit when you shoot for tackled. Yeah, I
noticed that it was like my backup linebacker. Like it wasn't even like so. Like,
I've outplayed people for 80% of the game, like 80%. Like I know, I should be up 30, and somehow it's the 4th quarter, and I'm fighting for my life on the final drive when I outplayed him for 3 quarters.
I feel like it should be more like a chess match back and forth. And if you earn that last play in a good game, it feels more like you earned it. Like I won the game, like cool.
Yeah.
Like, but it was more of like
You're
all
banging
right,
your head
another
after
Madden.
like
And
I shouldn't have even won that. I played
well,
the crap.
it just felt more like up another Madden game. Like I've lost them this year, I've won them, but just each one, I'm like fuck. Like besides the Super Bowl where I fuck my shit up every time, I feel like I'm like another Madden loss, whatever. Like I'll have a game where I'll be like I know sometimes I'll roll in the pocket and I'll throw cross body sometimes, but sometimes I'll be in the pocket with Allen and I'll throw like a corner route and he'll just throw it straight downfield. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Where are you throwing that? Like I feel like it's inconsistent with like if I'm making the right read, don't punish me for it. Like don't like I understand fumbles are a thing, they should be, but just
Fumbles
they
were
should
too
come
random
in.
this year. It wasn't based on hits. It
They're
was like
too
Madden
yes,
decided that in the third quarter, that team that's winning is gonna fumble. Like it was just too scripted.
or not even that. It'd just be like, oh, you have like 40 hit sticks and you get 0, and then like, oh, last one though, you'll get it. Like it shouldn't be. It should be more controlled and
The
like who you're
cutback
getting
inside
against.
hard hit should be the fumble,
Like,
not the shoestring tackle where the ball just comes flying out.
or it's like notice how like where you're getting these fumbles. It's against HBs after like they'll have tank. They'll break a tackle and get hit after the broken tackle on fumble. But you'll have fucking short ass wide receivers out there doing spins, getting annihilated, and they'll just get up, run to the sideline. I'm just like, it's the wrong players to me. Like it's
Yeah.
not. So I feel like the game's more like chess matchy and like for everybody. I don't want to see the same people at the bottom every like season. It's cool to see people change and win up. Like so I just want everyone to be competitive, but at the same time I want it to be more like a balanced, like both sides of the ball, even special teams. It'd be cool if special teams affect the game a little more. Like
Yeah.
kick returns are so I feel like it's so rare. Like your blocking is usually just garbage on kick returns, and then you'll get that one where they
Where
all
you just have like the
blocks.
wide open. Like I never even moved.
Yeah.
I just ran straight
In the
whole
middle.
time.
Yeah. You don't even have to move. It's just like, wow, that's weird. Everybody's blocked right down.
And you know right away, like, all right, you see that last kickout block. Like, all right, well, I know what is about to happen here.
You could see it. You could see it. Like every kickoff, I'll see like 15 guys running at me. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not returning this shit. Like, and then like you'll see the ball in the air and everyone's just blocked, still pretty much where they were in the beginning of the play. And I'm like,
and you see them like going
right,
to the second level, making a V down. Like you already know, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a perfect V. And I'm like, all right, it's too like manufactured. Like it's not like I made a cool spin and then cut in and then like hurdled the guy and then oh fuck, I got to return. Like that was all me. Like, and I feel like the broken tackle is the same thing. Like you'll spin 3 fucking seconds early. Like I'll do this. I'll spin early because I'm an idiot. And then someone will tackle me, and then like they'll be like, "Oh, broken tackle animation." I'm like, I didn't do anything. Like I spun into him. Like I didn't truck. I spun into a dude. He tackled me, and then he'll break tackle, and I'll go. So I'm hoping Madden like 23 is just like, no, you made that tackle. He's done. He's not gonna just miraculously. Like if I spun at the perfect moment around him, cool. But I feel like I don't know, a little too arcadey this Madden. That's how I'll say. I think it's arcadey.
What are you looking forward to from the beta feedback and stuff you've read in terms of the game getting better, and also just commissioning in 23?
Game wise, to me, Madden's just always gonna be Madden. I'm never really disappointed with the game. A lot of people feel like this Madden was like really trash. I enjoy playing it. It has its bugs and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it's football for me. So I enjoy playing it. I'm looking forward to them fixing some of the things, but I can't really think. I didn't have any really big issues this Madden. I felt like there were previous Maddens that the running game I felt like was too dominant. I didn't feel that way in this Madden. Like I felt like last Madden you do fucking stretch or just whatever.
Just swerve all game.
And you could run left, run right, and it didn't really matter what defense you played. So that wasn't in this Madden, so I thought that was good. But at the end of the day, every Madden I play, I always like it. To me, it's always X's and O's. So
yeah, I'm more concerned about core glitches. Let's just say not gameplay, but more like we start franchise next year and there's a glitch at year 2 during the draft, the thing crashes. Like that's more of the stuff I'm worried about because that does kill the morale of the league, especially guys who like aren't like more casual in the league. That's when we end up losing our bottom half.
Yeah, I hope they don't got stuff like that, but like did this Madden? I guess we couldn't fill up the league, so that was a big glitch. But then again, to me, not being able to have 32 people wasn't a big thing because I was like, when do we actually have 32 solid people? It's like, to me,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen. Right now, like I said, it's like we're at like 17, maybe 18 people that they're probably always going to be in the league unless something big happens. But we don't have 32 good people, good members anyway. So that wasn't a big thing for me. I definitely wasn't going to restart for that. So, next Madden, you'll see. We'll be able to have 32 people, but are we going to have like 32 people for the whole time? Probably not.
I mean, yeah, restart would have probably been pointless at this point because we ended up having like 26, 25 the remainder after that second season. So it wouldn't have really made a difference.
I think it's going to be like dope. And I'm excited about that because I'm about to show people like I ain't bullshit no more.
Yeah, no, I did something similar like you did back when I first joined the league when I was the Jaguars. I was big into MUT at the time. So I played MUT all week and then I would just come to my franchise game and like I wasn't into it. Then I dropped MUT the rest of the year and was just solely focused on simulation gameplay and trying to win our league's rules. And that's when I won my Bulls. And that's when I was like, wait, if I go back and forth between MUT and franchise too much, I get too confused with what works.
That's not even that. It's like the rules kind of like once I get in MUT mode, I have no like handcuffs on me. Yeah. But then when I have to come back to the franchise, I'm handicapped.
Yeah, the rules I can flip back on, but it's like I don't know. I mean, you notice this simulation and Ultimate Team don't play the same. Like in franchise, you can actually moss people wide receivers. You can get like animations and simulation.
Yeah.
MUT, you don't get as many animations. It's just so like fast paced and arcadey feeling. Like it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So when I first came to the league, when I had like Chark and stuff, I was just like throwing open, trying to get open. Then I realized, wait, Chark can moss people if I just press Y. Meanwhile, in MUT, everyone's 99 play rec, 99 tackle.
But did you have moss on him though?
I did at some point, yeah.
Yeah, that moss was OD and they took it out.
That was crazy.
Everybody had moss, and because that was one of the OD abilities.
I think I used it on you in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't know if you remember that.
You fucking did. Because I had created I ended up developing Chris Westry into like this elite DB.
I don't know if you remember. It was our first Super Bowl. You had me beat. There was 30 seconds left in the game. The game was over. I throw a back corner strike to DJ Chark. I tie the game up or something like that. And we go into overtime. But that tie up the game with Chark activated Moss or something.
Moss. Yep,
and you knew that because you're a MUT guy, so you knew exactly what that shit was. You put like 7 guys on him. You put like I remember you manned up like 7 guys on him, and I still threw it, and you were in perfect position. He just threw one hand up. I got right into the red zone, scored.
And I still because I broke a control after that game.
Yeah, that was Moss was ridiculous. When I used to activate and people didn't, I mean, you couldn't stop it actually. The only way you could stop it is if you were like in a deep zone and you jumped in front of the ball.
That's it. That was the only way you can do it.
Because and that's if like I threw a bad ball and it came short and the cornerback could hop it. Otherwise, you're getting the animation.
What was the OP running back ability? Was it
Freight Train?
Freight Train. Like, because that's what I had with Zeke. And once you get activated, they kind of like toned it down a lot this year.
They made the break slower. So when you're in the backfield, you get hit, like you had a really slow break out of it. Back in 21, I think it was, you just got like insta broken tackles, just bounce off people with human joystick. You can just swerve through and bounce off people.
Yeah. But I think they're toning the abilities down a little bit. So that's why the gap is like going to expose a lot of people. So now, even if you do have abilities, they're not going to be as overpowered.
Yeah, I was talking to Sean about that because what I didn't like this year was that you know when you're playing a Madden game and you like in your head keep track of how far ahead you are, like even if it's a 7-point game, like you have a turnover on him, you're controlling time possession, like like 80% of that game you're just beating that guy's ass. This was the one year where like I could have gotten 3 turnovers, beaten someone's ass, and somehow it's the fourth quarter come down to the final drive, and I can't understand why that's happening. If I got 3 turnovers, I haven't turned the ball back over, but because defense was so bad and abilities were so overpowered, like anyone could stay in a game with you all game.
And I like the momentum bar, but I don't like it because, say for instance, right, you said like you just scored. Say for instance, you scored. Now your momentum bar go up crazy off of one score, but I can get a pick 6 that you just threw, and your momentum bar goes down a little bit. The momentum doesn't shift back to me, doesn't change back to me. I'm like, that's not real football.
I don't think it's consistent at all, and I don't like that because like like I'm saying exactly what I said before. There was games where I'm up 35 to 21, and they're mounting a comeback, and suddenly they tie the game, and now my screen's shaking. I can't see shit. But meanwhile, I have double their yards. I've been dominating them all game. My team shouldn't be
Exactly.
flustered like that, but now I can't see the game. I'm about to lose to a guy who just came up 21 on some bullshit, but I can't see my screen. I can't hot route anything. I can't do anything because they scored one touchdown. You know what I mean? It was weird.
If I do end up getting the Cowboys, I like Dak abilities. They
Is he
actually
a
gave him
superstar?
some. Yeah, I think he's an X Factor. Did they make him an X Factor? I can't remember, but he has like some nice abilities,
You can
like
change him
throwing wise.
anyways. So you're gonna start off actually really good with him.
But that's it. No, I think what Zeke has a superstar ability besides my old what T. Smith and Zach Martin. That's the only people that's on offense that has
And CD,
ability. CD don't have ability.
right? CD Lamb has it.
No, he don't have any.
He's star.
Yeah.
Kind of ridiculous.
Nobody on offense outside of those has abilities.
You have a good core though. I mean, you're gonna get the Cowboys. I don't see anyone taking them early. You're gonna have a good core. You're gonna have Zeke, who in this game should play better because of the way pass rush can be more realistic.
But that's what's annoying because okay, last year it was Zeke, this year it was Pollard. Now it looks like it's going back to Zeke.
Yeah, the game's always changing on what you got to do in the backfield. But Zeke should be better, especially if you could put like Tank on him early or jukebox, whatever ends up working. But in terms of Madden 23, since you do play a lot of franchise and you probably take a better look at some of the features than some other people do, right? Some people just log on and play day one. What's like? I was asking JTC this. What is one of the biggest features, 2 or 3, whatever you got for me? That would be something that if they added to franchise would really just take it up a notch. Like it could be an old feature that they took out that you don't understand why, or something that you have thought about.
Yeah. So my favorite franchise, this might be an unpopular opinion, was Madden 12 actually, way back in the day. They used to have pro days, they used to have all this different information. Scouting was at least like you had to actually scout and look into players. And free agency, they had a bunch of different factors. It looks like they're bringing that back though, so that's good at least. I think just the biggest thing, I just want more variability. So things aren't, oh, I have 130 points versus someone having 125. It's like I'm gonna get the guy. I think they're adding that, so that's gonna be good at least. But if they could overhaul scouting again to make it a little more interesting and complex, it would be better.
Yeah, I would like the draft to be more random. I feel like in at least the past few years, everyone knows like the best guys, like not in every like in the NFL every year. Some guys might have, let's say, Trayvon Walker one on their board, another team has him 30s, right? That's how this kind of draft was. No one knew where he was going. But with the way we're able to scout and kind of know things so easily for 40 speeds, I feel like it's going to be the same guys. It's really hard to steal people outside of getting that lucky X factor guy that just you would never have guessed, just like the lucky guy you draft.
Yeah, I feel like you should just get their combine stats and all that, and then after that, it should just really be what they're good at, their pros and their cons, and then that's pretty much all you should get. And yeah, I would like to see some like more 4th-round guys being, oh, you can plug them in and start right away.
Yeah, versus a 4th-round guy could have X factor, but he's going to be a 55 overall, 60 overall, and he's not playable for a while.
Yeah, I feel like we just sort of get, oh, you got a 75 overall hitting guy, you can play him. Everyone else is sort of like, yeah, I'll just go to free agency and get a different guy.
Yeah, I would like to see the draft change because I think that'll make picks more valuable. Because like we're in a league where people, you do it a lot, I do it a lot. We'll trade every 1st-round pick we have sometimes, just like if the right trade's there. Because honestly, a 99 overall player is way more valuable than a potential normal dev 74 outside linebacker.
Yeah, another like even on top of that, just like if they could have regression where it's actually like, oh, this guy suddenly fell off a cliff, like let's say Derwin went from a 95 to a 79 all of a sudden and loses X factor, I'm all for that. I think it would just add more. You have to actually draft guys and be ready and have plans to replace guys at least, but I don't think Madden will ever do that.
I wish progression was better now that you mentioned that too, because that's my biggest problem. I would love to do actual project players like season 1. Let's say I take the Giants, right? I want a quarterback to fill in Daniel Jones' spot, but he won't be ready year 1. I could take a guy he's a project type quarterback. I don't know if they're adding that stuff, but he's a project quarterback. He gets XP behind the scenes, playing behind him. He gets stuff, and actually standing behind for a season gets him a breakout scenario where he starts out at star next season. Things like that where you can actually have a scout team like ready to go, like you said, to take in
Yeah.
that role.
Yeah, with
Because
the
it
team
sucks the way it is.
with the team I'm playing on taking, I would like to be able to develop a quarterback behind the old man I'll be having there. So we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, because
I
it
would like
definitely sucks having a situation like that because in Madden, it's like everything's about age, right? You draft a rookie, he's 24 years old. That was kind of a bust because after 25, the XP drops off a cliff. So it's like goes from 9K to 15K. So you have to start people the second they get on your team. So you're forced to start like I'm starting a 70 overall rookie with good speed and just force feeding him. It leads to a weird gameplay for a lot of people.
Yeah, I have the exact situation. Like, I feel like guys like Keenan Allen was on my team. I just got rid of him. It wasn't worth keeping him around because he was just taking a spot from a 95 speed rookie.
It's either get rid of him or not develop the young guys. When realistically,
Exactly.
it should be he sits behind Keenan Allen. He gets good XP because he's 21 no matter what, and he still builds in the background, and then you can plug him in year 2. But I guess it's wishful thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But I just think I don't know. I was gonna bring this up after the Madden. I think we should actually turn on regression, the trait regression. It's pretty bad Madden, but at least it'll bring some random variability in there.
I hope they tune it first. Like, I mean, you'll probably see this when the game comes out playing a bunch of reruns. Like, if they tuned to where regression actually was logical, I'd be off. It's kind of like ability choosing. Like, you have a quarterback and he gets like short out elite or like something stupid stuff like or energized. Like, you don't really want that. It's not really usable. If regression made sense, I would like it. Like, exactly. 30-year-old Darren James, after 30, anything could happen. Like, they could fall off a cliff at 30, they could last 34. If he's playing really well, winning MVPs, he stays at the top. But I saw like you could win an MVP and then drop down to superstar or something afterwards. Like it just was too random.
Yeah. That's why we had to have it off. I hope they tune that at least.
But it would have
bit.
fixed the league. You're right, because that was the biggest problem we had. We maxed out the cap, so that wouldn't have ever been a problem.
Yeah, but that's the problem with the cap is below the number that comes into the game. So like Aaron Rodgers would fall to superstar right away. And that's just not realistic. I mean, him and Brady are going to play till they're probably 50.
Also, it kills CPU teams. All those guys that we don't have playing for one season that come back next year, they're all stars. So, I mean, that's a problem. But 23, what are you looking forward to in terms of obviously your experience, and what do you think could improve in 23 franchise that you would like, whether it be scouting, drafting? What would really turn it up?
Probably bringing back a lot of the older features, more of the draft prospects. Hopefully we can get some new updates to the free agency. Just gameplay overall, make it more realistic.
Yeah, I feel like if you read the beta feedback, a lot of those things actually should be coming. Obviously, every year we read the same feedback that gives us all these bulky, immersive features that end up just being nothing. So one of the biggest things I saw that I'm actually kind of excited for is I don't know, did you play the beta at all?
I played one game and then I turned it off.
Did you check franchise at all?
No.
In the franchise now, players have player tags on them, and like kind of like 2K, if you ever played 2K franchise. So like Saquon Barkley wants to only play in big cities. So if let's just say a smaller like Houston Texans offered, let's just say like a smaller market team Houston Texans offered versus the New York Giants or the Miami Dolphins or something like that, he won't actually like his bar will be red even for a good offer because and a bad offer could be green. So that could go a long way in picking your team, versus picking just the team you want or a big market team.
Okay. Yeah, that's a cool feature.
I think it'd be cool. I think it's more realistic.
Yeah.
Instead of just and the sniping obviously is going to be dead if you saw that.
No, my focus so far has just been on Madden 22. Once the year ends, I'll be focusing on Madden 23.
I think we got like 16 more days for that. Give or take
12 days.
Yeah, 16? Something like that. I'm never too excited about it because like I know our franchise, like I get really excited to get into it, and then franchise doesn't start for a whole month anyway. So like I try not to get like too hyped for the release, but it's definitely fun to get a look at our teams.
Yeah.
We should have our team selection hopefully in the next week or so.
Really? Okay.
Pick selection, because last year on August 12th is when we knew our picks, right? So you'll get an idea of where you're gonna fit into, kind of start mocking it up. But yeah, what are your 3 teams that you're on your board that you also think you could get?
Well, honestly, I have a very late pick, so I'm going to have a choice between 5 teams, which is no one wants to be in that position.
A late pick for you is like 25, 24, though, realistically, because we have 7 users missing. So
that is true.
It's not going to be that bad as you think, as in past years.
All right, so when it comes to these 3 picks, I was thinking mostly about the division. Are teams are people taking teams in that division? Like who usually goes to these divisions? But my 3 like sleeper teams, because again, too, like I'm not gonna have the options of like top teams, but I have Colts, Saints, and Eagles. I put Eagles down there. I know they're not that much of a sleeper team, but I made a list and I was like, low key, there are a lot of teams you take over the Eagles. But again, too, like Kais is guaranteed to go Cowboys unless someone else takes him, which I don't think is going to happen. But if you have the Eagles, you have so many options there. Like you have Darius Slay and Lane Johnson, two positions that you'll never have to worry about, like a right tackle, a cornerback, whatever. You have a solid corner, you're chilling there. Receivers, you have Devontae and you have AJ Brown. And one huge sleeper is Quez Watkins. You can do a lot with that, 98 speed. With the Saints too, I've used the Saints in different leagues. I promise you, the cap room is not that much of a problem. Like you can figure it out within the first 2 years, and you know as well, free agency, it's never going to be good the first 2 years. So you'll figure it out by then. You have a lot of solid pieces. Those guys are a little older, but you can definitely win in the first 4 years with the Saints if you're good at a quarterback with Jameis Winston. And also I have the Colts. You'll have Jonathan Taylor, Gilmore, and Kenny Moore. Darius Leonard and Buckner. Your defense is already pretty solid to start off. You have the best alignment in the game, and Matt Ryan's only an 81 overall. Like he's not you're not going to be using him in 5 seasons, but you can use him from 1 year. You don't like him, move on. You still have a solid team where if you get a decent quarterback, you can win games, especially in a division where like the best team are the Titans, but they're an easily beatable team.
I'm seeing a common trend with your team. So pretty much you want an established foundation, established roster with upside. Just got to fix the quarterback position. Outside of potentially Jalen Hurts on the Eagles. Now, if I had to guess, the Colts and Saints almost certainly will be at your pick, depending on how many people value a Jonathan Taylor, good old line, young mix. That depends. But there's a lot of, like I said, you're going to be picking in the 24-25. I think Saints and Colts will be there. Eagles could go top 10. It really just depends on how this new Madden plays. Because this Madden doesn't seem like it's QB-centric. This is the first Madden in a while where I don't feel inclined to take the greatest quarterback on the board because I was playing the beta. Again, things could change, but they just released that the beta is going to play similar to the actual release game. So from the beta, I played Lamar Jackson. I played with Mahomes. I played with Josh Allen. I also played with Daniel Jones and Matt Ryan. And at the same time, they all felt pretty similar. Lamar wasn't able to run around like a headless chicken anymore. Mahomes wasn't making 80 yards off the back foot. So if I can't do things special and different with them, I'm more inclined to take a good defense with a better pass rush and pieces. Because in this Madden was all offense. That was the problem. So get a dominant quarterback, win some games. Pass rush didn't work. Cornerbacks didn't work. But if cornerbacks and pass rush and route running actually work, then I think I need pieces more than I need the quarterback, right? So
and I would go with the Dolphins as one. Obviously, I'm from Florida.
Yeah.
So, I kind of, hold a little spot in me right there to, want to pick the Florida team. But, they got, like I said, Tyreek, got Waddle, two of the fastest guys on the game. So that's self-explanatory. I like the defense that they have as well. And I don't think anybody's ever won a Super Bowl with the Dolphins in the league. So that would be like a challenge right there in itself, to take that team. I would say the second team, that's a good question. I would probably go with, I like the Panthers, man. That would be my second option, I would say, if I didn't go with the Dolphins. Obviously, C-Mac, one of the most explosive players on the game, man. Having a good running back is always a plus. I think I could do some stuff with Baker Mayfield. I don't need a crazy type quarterback.
The rookie's good too.
Yeah, exactly.
Corral, if you can build and it's you're good at getting into the groove, that guy could be a great quarterback in the game.
Right. You're right about that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, offensively they got speed everywhere, man. DJ Moore, I think they still have Anderson at receiver. The defense is, talented with speed as well. I think they got one of the fastest corners on the game now. Then they already had Jackson. Yeah. They already had Jackson. They got Horn still, the guy who's in his second year. So I would probably go with Carolina. And then plus, obviously me playing football at East Carolina, I was a little, Panthers, a little fan from that little time period. So, I mean, it'll probably be the Dolphins and Panthers, man.
Yeah, I think both those teams will actually end up being top 10. Panthers easily could have the most generational team of the franchise if the right user gets them and they build them right. That defense is like 24 and under for most of the important pieces. They're all fast. They're all tall. They're athletic. But moving on from that, top 3 teams that you got on your board right now and why?
So Falcons, obviously hometown team. That'd be my number 1 team right now, even though I said I wasn't going back. And that's because of Desmond Ridder and Drake London possibly being a huge factor with his height and his jumping is, I think, 95. And they gave Troy Anderson, the middle linebacker we drafted, that used to play quarterback, 92 speed, 95 excel at middle linebacker. And he's 6'4". going to be a fucking beast.
I know
So
that is.
it's a lot. Huh?
I never even heard of that guy.
Yeah, he was a quarterback in college. Well, used to play quarterback. Came from Montana State, I think, something like that. But yeah, fast as fuck. So it's a lot of upside. The downfall is like I said, the safeties. My second team is the Lions. I'm trying to taking Sean's mindset on that, on finding a team that hasn't won the bowl yet and trying to win with them. No matter how good the Lions are, people always fucking use the excuse that they suck. The team Rod built this year was fucking amazing. Fucking quarterback was amazing. The secondary was amazing, and people still had the excuse that the team wasn't good enough. I don't get it. And so I do want to take them. They got Jameson, Hutchinson, but other than that, it's kind of shaky for me. And then you got my third team would be the Panthers, and for obvious reasons, they already have everything I want in a team, and they're young. So for me, it'll be an easy transition and build because all I need to do is find a fucking quarterback, and I'm in the game. Because the defense they're all young, they're all going to develop if we're with the right user. That should be a 99 overall defense really quick. I really didn't want to reveal that since you already gave Miles the Panthers at pick 7, somebody's already on to him. And then I really do think if I get a 98 speed cornerback, it's going to be ugly.
The whole league's on the Panthers. So I've talked to everyone about that. I think that defense will probably be the best defense in NRG by like year 3. Obviously, they start really low in overall. Again, I don't know how the game's going to be on developing and breakout games, but in terms of like, they have all the athleticism in the world. They're all fast. That's always good. They also happen to be 21 with dev traits to start. So they're just everywhere you need them to be. They have a D-line. Even the ones that suck, like Gross Matos, is still young and still has speed. Like, that defense is going to be crazy. And you have Matt Corral, who I don't know if you looked at his stats. He's developable.
Panthers would have been my number 1 pick had he been a little bit better. I don't know. 84 speed is manageable. Deshaun Watson's had it for years. But that throw, I'm used to having, like, every year I've had Dirk for the past 2 Maddens, he's had 95 plus throw power, 97.
What is
even
Corral
I was playing
89?
90? 89, yeah. So you can probably get it 91, 92. But I'm thinking, I'll just have to deal with that this Madden. I can't be picky. Beggars can't be choosers. But they do, like I said, they do got a lot of upside. But I really don't think developing gonna be hard because every year, like I said, NRG walks in with this, hey, this is hard. We can't run. We can't play defense. But by season 3, motherfuckers be locked in and they done found their way to develop however they develop. So
I think Panthers and Falcons would fit you best. What was your second team again?
The Lions.
Yeah, the Lions are only fun because you'd have like Tyree killed like as a baby, start him fresh. Jameson would be there the whole franchise at 99 speed. But I don't know. Starting off, I don't like their jerseys. I don't like the city. I don't like the quarterback. It's just one of those teams that I just feel like kind of gross. But the Panthers, I've even looked at the Panthers, but I've had Baker before. He's a little too old to dev, being at like 25, 26. So it's kind of too late for him. So who are your top 3 teams on the board? I imagine we know your first one, but give some reasoning why. And if your first one's not there, who would you take?
Yeah, so obviously first one is Jets. It's a young team, a lot of good draft picks this year. I'm excited about like Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson. That's gonna be fun. Zach has a cannon of an arm as a 23-year-old, which is awesome. So that'd be my dream choice, obviously. I'd say second's probably the Titans. I know it's a little weird, but they have the young QB who can run. Traylon Burks, I think, is going to be a monster in a couple years in Madden. Derrick Henry, obviously, is just Derrick Henry. And they have some good defensive pieces. I like Caleb Farley. I like Kevin Byard. I like what they have. So I think they'd be fun. And then my last one's a little bit of a stretch. I don't know if it'd fall to me, but the Chargers are cool. Justin Herbert, obviously. I like Austin Eckler he's good for a couple more years, probably like 2 or 3 in Madden. And then now in the same way, a little older, but he'll be fine. Mike Williams. And then I had them in Uzma. I like Jalen Guyton a lot. He was a monster. Once you get him depped up, he's a demon. So it'll be fun. And then Derwin, obviously, and like Joey Bosa. So I think that'd be a cool team, I think, to have.
Interesting you say those 3 teams. So going from the Jets, I honestly think the Jets, just like the Panthers and a few others, are the most prototypical, like, foundational team for franchise, which is funny because Jets never really had that before. They're just like the prototypical you start. Everyone, if you look at them for Madden ratings, they're all below 86. So like they look like horrible on paper, but each person's like 21 through 24. They have high devs. They have the good intangibles like the throw power and the speed and the height. Like they have all that stuff that like you could easily build like a monster. What's the word for it? Like a dynasty with. So that's what I like about the Jets. obviously they're up there. Zach Wilson in real life may have not taken the step yet, but from a Madden standpoint, he's one season away from having all the abilities you want and being Pat Mahomes, right? Same with Josh Allen type. Now, in terms of the second team, which was the Titans. It's funny you say that. So I was looking at the Titans because I always like to also take a look at that one team where like I feel like I could go to the Super Bowl with year one. Now, like sometimes I want to be the Giants, right? If I'm the Giants, I know I'm not making the bowl year one. If I'm the Chiefs, I know I might, or the Bills, but I also have an older team that I may not want to have to pay and, not have for 10 years. But then there's those teams where you could maybe have both. And I feel like the Titans are both because when you come out year one, it's going to be a hard way. It's hard to play offense year one. You don't know how to play the game yet. Derrick Henry's like a cheat code year one. You just run him straight. He's going to be super glitchy in the beginning, right? The run game's always really glitchy in the beginning. He's going to have all the abilities. You have a young quarterback with speed and throw power, and you have those generational corners like Caleb Farley type. And the Titans really could be a team where you could win now and have a future setup. So I do like them. And I think all three of your picks will fall. I think the Chargers might fall later than we think because no one likes that receiver set.
Yeah, I didn't mind the receiver set. It was pretty easy to work with when I had him. Mike Williams lasts a little longer than you'd expect him to. He's just a little slow, but I mean, you can work with slow.
Yeah, speed and age, that's the biggest problem with them. I think Guyton's good, but then you got to build him, and then he's your third one, or you're going to start him over the other two. But no, the Chargers are a really good team. They have like all the young guys. I'm just scared of all the age. Like you're going to get to a point in like 2025, 2026 where Mac's done, Bosa's almost done, Derwin's almost done just because he's a bit older already. Like you're going to get to a point where that whole team just falls apart mid-franchise. And I always hate picking that. I either pick win now and build from there or start building early, right? Yeah. So what are your top three teams on the board right now? Tell me why. And of course, I mean, you don't have to include the Jags if you're looking at some other ones right now, but what do you got?
Oh, my top three teams? My top three teams are the Colts, the Titans, and the Texans.
You're keeping it under wraps.
You gave my top three teams. I gave it to you. That's what you wanted.
I mean, the Colts aren't bad, actually, despite.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, so it's between those three. Colts, the Titans, or the Texans.
I fully expect you to either go to the West and keep up you and Trav maybe going back and forth over there to Ray, the West, or a young defensive team, but we'll see.
Yeah. It should be fun.
Final, moving forward, what are your top three teams on the board right now and why?
I'm not going to do it in order, but I like the Eagles. I'd say why. Probably mainly I like Jordan Davis a lot. They have a young rookie linebacker who's pretty quick, who I could work with. I like the wide receiver corps. They're young and they're good. They're not really fast, but I feel like if 23 is more on like route running and like just creating space, I feel like they're a good wide receiver corps. And Watkins is 98 speed too. So I like them. I don't like Hurts at all, but it is what it is. I like the Bengals because Burrow is nasty this year with that accuracy. I don't care that he's not that fast. That 90 to start off with 97 short, 97 medium right off the bat. I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. And what is it? Mixon's a beast. You got Chase and Higgins who are young, and I think they're both good. Their defense is young for the most part. I think the oldest one on is 28, and then they got that beast ass safety you work with Bates. My thing is I don't want to play with Bengals again really because I've already played with them. I like playing with a new team and winning a Super Bowl. I think it's cool that way, but we'll see. That's a tough team to pass up. They look pretty good. And then I like the Lions because I think they're very young. I like Jameson Williams, Chark, and Brown are all young, and the two are fast. I like Swift, but he could be better. But I like him because he's young still. I don't like golf much, but if you could find a quick replacement I feel like that'd be a sweet offense. So those are probably my top three. And the defense is young. And I think they said I don't know if it's true, but I think Hayden Hutchinson's supposed to be like a superstar off the bat. So that's not bad on D line. They're all young. So you could I feel like Lions would be a fun build. So I don't really know though. Like I haven't played the game yet. So I gotta play it and then see take it from there. So those would be my three though.
Yeah, I like those teams. I feel like all three of them kind of match what you're going for. You like to pick like the lower team with potential. In terms of top three teams, obviously you're going Niners. If you didn't take the Niners, what three teams based on just being a football fan and a Madden fan, what would you be taking if the Niners weren't available?
Actually, there was some thought about me not taking the Niners because I keep thinking when I have this baby in October, I was like, what happens if I get really busy and I'm not able to play like that? And I was like, it's gonna suck that my Niners ain't gonna be able to do anything. I feel like it'd be a waste. So I did think about other teams. I was like, all right, what teams I should pick, and I didn't really think about specific teams. I was just like, I'll just go wherever Miles goes, and just to bother him.
They're gonna go chase back now.
Yeah, because he came in my division last Madden when we restarted. So I was like, I'll just repay the favor and go follow him. And I guess I probably would have been either was it Titans, Colts, and who am I missing from that division? Texans. I probably would just been probably the Colts. Get a little DeForest Buckner going.
Yeah, that's a good team. That's a solid team. Now, pretend it's not about chasing that. What would be just one team? What's like one team that you would just love to play with just as a football fan, regardless of anything, regardless of life, just if you were playing?
Probably the Bengals. Got a young quarterback and a young receiver. I would just be able to have like this Madden. I was able to have Lance Debo Ayuk for the whole Madden. So I probably would have Burrow and Chase for the whole Madden.
Yeah, me and Sean were talking about that for a few teams. It's nice to have like the big three of like your youth core that you could just like no matter what rotates around it. Like you got Mixon, Burrow, and Jamar. We were talking about that.
Sean, why is Sean talking about big three? All he does is fucking hot route, zigzag route. There you go. It doesn't even matter who he has.
He likes his decoys on the field. I know he could have 4 wide receivers with X factor, and he's still throwing to his running back as his leading receiver. But it's good to have some decoys. I think that the Cowboys are going to be really good. I think Madden 23 is going to be really good. But if you couldn't take the Cowboys, let's just say they're gone. What would be your other teams you take?
Miami. That's one. And who else? I'm gonna go to Browns.
Browns are nasty. I just don't want to deal with Trav again for another Madden. I don't want to be in the North anymore. I've been in there for like 3 straight Maddens. So otherwise, moving on from that, what are your top 3 teams and why? I mean, people keep smoke screening me. Some have been honest. See what route you take here.
I mean, I'm wearing the shirt, so my number one's the Packers. I fully plan on taking them.
What's the excitement around them this year for you as a franchise guy?
They're not going to be in cap hell. That's the only reason I didn't take them this year. I knew if I took them last year, I'd have to get rid of Devontae, probably not keep Rodgers, and get rid of like half the team. This year, I think they're in a little better shape, so I think I'll be able to work with it. And
yeah, they'll be cheaper, right? They'll be cheaper, and you'll have better draft picks. They'll be cheaper and younger.
Yeah. And other than that, really, it's just other than the Packers. I mean, I'll be looking at the good teams probably. That's probably it.
You're looking for the powerhouses that fall.
Yeah. So if like the Bills or the Chiefs fall,
they're going to be
pick them. Yeah, they probably will, but I'll take the Packers over them.
I was talking before with JTC again about this. I was telling him and this is what I told a lot of people. This is going to be a really weird year for pick selection because in the past few years, we've been so tense about Super Bowls, right? Now that a lot more people have won bowls, right? Like you've won one, I've won mine. Sean got back in the column. Joey got back in the column. Like now that a lot of like the top 10 pretty much, I think everyone in the top 10 has the Super Bowl besides Che maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, and JTC. Let's say that they're in, but that's been lost from users, right? But the top 8 picks, every single person in the top 8 has a Super Bowl. So no one's sitting there super desperate. So not everyone's just sitting there like, I have to get Pat Mahomes. Also, this year isn't as dominant with QBs. If you played the beta, Lamar Jackson does not run outside like crazy. Mahomes does not make quarterbacks aren't OP this year. It's going to be more of a defensive, like actually building a team versus having the wizard quarterback. So if Ray goes Niners and Jay takes whoever Jay takes, right? Miles probably take a young defensive team. I'm probably going Giants. Trav's going to Ravens, and you got Bobby going to Falcons probably, and Sean's taking a bad team. That means that Cardinals, Bills, Chiefs right off the rip, Buccaneers, like all those teams are falling to the bottom half. For a lot of people, you're going to see people steal some teams this year.
Yeah, I'm going to get Packers, and then I imagine Che and JTC are coming up after that. And
that's why I'm projecting them for Bills. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Jack would like to get the Bills. I think he's going to move on from the Chiefs, and he's going to go Bills or maybe Bengals. I would think he might consider
Bengals are on my board, but I don't know if they're going to make it to me.
Yeah.
Bengals might go top 3.
I also like with the Packers, you got pretty much no other team that's really that good. So
How about
I
that
don't know.
rookie you guys got? Not Watson, the other one. I was reading about him today. He's been
Quay Walker or
no
Dobbs?
Dobbs. He's been killing it, right? He has
Yeah, he's been
4.37
good.
speed.
He's not going to be good at Madden. I think he has 90 speed, but
90. He ran a
I'll
4.3.
yeah, they don't care. Watson ran a 4.3.
Maybe they
Dobbs ran a
update it
4.4.
with the roster update because he's
Yeah,
killing
we'll
it in
see.
camp.
I would hope. I'm going to use him. I'm going to start him, Watson, and probably Lazard as my first three, and then I'll be heavily relying on the run game.
What do
Likely
you do with
trade
the
Aaron
QB
Jones
situation?
early. I'm going to stick with Rodgers, and then
I mean, he
pretty much till
lasted what, 11
retires.
seasons for us?
He's on my team now. I'm using him.
It can happen actually, but you wouldn't go to Love.
I don't think so. I think did they get rid of his star? I'm not really sure. I haven't
They
looked
probably
at,
got rid of
but
a star.
if he doesn't have star, I mean, probably move on, draft a quarterback.
Yeah. All right. So you're looking at those big teams, and you're looking at the Packers now. Leading off that, what are your top 3 teams on your board right now and why?
So I don't really know where I'm going to be picking, so I can't really make a good judgment of
I'd say
what
you're going to be pick 8 or 9, give or take.
that sounds pretty good, but just for a little insight, I'd probably pick the 49ers, my top team, the Giants as my second, and then the Monarchs as the third. Those are probably my top 3.
I got a similar answer for Miles. Okay, some people are keeping it under wraps.
Yeah. Well, those are my real answers.
Based on what I've seen at your pick, you have a decent chance of getting. Again, you could answer this however you want. You have the Bills will be there, the Chiefs will be there, the Cardinals will be there.
Yeah.
Like those are 3 power teams right now. Are you looking at any big teams like that, or you just genuinely don't know?
Those are all 3 X factor quarterbacks, aren't they?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's where you went this year, picking a team like
nice
that.
not having to draft a quarterback all man 22. So
yeah, I think they're gonna fall to you because what I've seen so far is that the top 7 users, give or take, most of them are either going home. Obviously, Ray always goes 49ers. We don't know about Miles yet. Trav's gonna go Ravens. I should be going Giants. Sean always picks a bad team. It seems like where you and Matt are, and maybe Che, are probably gonna be some of the best picks in the league in terms of you're gonna be getting the powerhouse teams that just fall to 8, 9, 10 because no one else took them. So it could be a good spot to pick.
yeah, that's what I like to hear. We'll see how it unfolds though.
And the biggest rival for next Madden, like whose ass do you want to beat now? Not in just an angry way, but just like, every year you end the year off with that one rival, like that guy you're talking crap to, or just someone that you always have a great game with, like for years. Like who's your guy?
Well, for me, there's no one specifically I have a rivalry with. I'm pretty like chill with everyone. Like if someone's talking crap to me, I don't really care. Like it doesn't bother me. I don't know if Joey's playing, but Joey used to be one of my favorite opponents to play with. We'd always get in great battles, and we're always very chill about it afterwards. We'll have real discussions about how like, oh, like I beat him by 3 or he beat me by 17. He let me know like why he beat me, yada yada yada. And it's one of those where like we both want to get better just so we can play each other. And it's like iron sharpens iron. That's how it always used to be with me and him. But this year, honestly, I want to be Bobby's ass just because he talks the most. Listen,
That's gonna
Bobby,
be a
like
common
you might be
answer.
watching this. Yeah, I know. You might be watching this, Bobby, but just know like I have nothing against you. But I know that if I have like a .600 winning percentage against you the entire Madden, you're not going to be adding me a lot in the chat. If I'm beating you when it matters, you're not going to be adding me a lot in the chat. And I want that leverage. I want that advantage over you.
It's funny though, because Bobby's that guy, like, guys like this in real life. He's that guy that when you win, you lose. When you lose, you lose. When you don't even play him, you still lose. Like, even when I beat him, it'll make me feel bad about beating him and mention some other stuff about how he beat me in the past. When I lose to him, he doubles down. Even when we're not playing, he's mentioning last Madden on me. So he's the kind of guy you just don't want to see in your schedule because it's gonna go down in the chat after. It doesn't matter what season 12, season 13, preseason. But it's fun, it keeps the chat going.
Right.
Who's your biggest rival for next Madden? I know this Madden was Ray. Who you got for next year? You're looking at in interdivision, interconference, or just all in all?
I'm really trying to make it too personal. As far as rivals go.
No, who do you enjoy playing? Like, what guy do you just have a great game with? Like, you just look forward to that matchup, win or loss.
I always look forward to playing Miles, man. The reason, obviously, is because me and him are friends, and we know each other. Like the back of our hands and all that stuff like that. And it's always usually a good battle. So I will always look forward to playing Miles. I'm always interested in where he's going to actually end up when it comes to Madden, because I've been hearing some rumors that he may not be in Jacksonville. So
that's what I've heard too. So he might not even be in your conference. You might not see him to a Super Bowl appearance, which I imagine both of you will end up being.
I don't know, man. We're gonna see, because from what I've heard, I'll probably see him in the AFC Championship. I may even see him twice in the division. So it's going to be like interesting to see what Miles end up.
If you guys end up in the same division, that'll be fun and a little hectic, but it'll be fun.
Yeah. It would. We've never been in the same division before. Obviously, like I say, he's a great Madden player, competitor, and all that. So it would definitely be a challenge for Madden 23 if he did, take on one of the division teams in the AFC North. But either way, man, I know I see Miles eventually, whether that's in the division, whether that's in the conference ship, whether that's in the Super Bowl. We usually cross paths at some point. So I would say, he's definitely the one who I look forward to playing a lot.
But yeah, moving on. Your biggest rival next Madden. And this could be anything. This could be either whether it be like having problems, or this could just be a guy you like playing.
So, I mean, I shit talk to everybody, so none of you really are more valuable than the next. I like beating all y'all. I feel just as good beating all y'all. So whoever joins my division and thinks that they're coming to, especially if I go back to the NFC South, I feel like the NFC South is my home. Like the NFC West is Ray's home. So when people join it, it's like you're coming to challenge me. So whoever comes to the NFC South, they're just gonna have to accept second place like Jay did.
It could be a good division depending on who takes them. Because realistically, the Falcons are the worst team there, but you're a good user. So if you take them, that makes the Falcons good. The Buccaneers are the highest rated team in the whole game. If anyone decent takes them, they'll at least be competitive, especially year one when we don't know how to play. And the Saints are just a quarterback away from having a whole complete roster. So that could be a really good division, which we're not used to seeing, because if you don't go there, it ends up being a CPU division.
But the thing, and that's what's crazy, because this season, all the teams in the NFC South are good. The fucking Panthers, Regal had the Panthers fucking offense amazing. And then, a couple years came in and ruined that. And his random, I don't know what kind of Navy deployments they be having going on, but shit just be sporadic. And then Jay got the Saints. They look good too. I don't know what Jay be doing. Like, Jay has some plays in his arsenal. He just calls the shit 4 times a game. So I don't know what he be thinking. Like, he playing somebody stupid that's like, okay, you got me the first 2 times with it, Jay. You need to give it up. Like, he calls his money plays way too soon. But his team is actually good to me. And he's not a bad user either. So I feel like our division could have been a lot better had Regal stuck around and then get somebody on them Bucks. But the Bucks aren't appealing to me. Even though they got Brady and they start off good, like you said, all the motherfuckers got like 3 seasons and they regressing. So
yeah, I don't want to complete. If I'm complete rebuilding, it's season 1. Like, I'm starting. Like, if I do the Giants, I'm starting season 1 with the draft pick and starting right away. I don't want to be because after season 6, things start to fall off the league. Not talking like the good users are still there. We lose people. Dev games get glitched. Stuff happens at that point. So I want you to get the rebuild done before season 3, when everything's still prime and exciting, and then rock from there. But who's your biggest rival for next Madden? And this doesn't have to be someone that you have problems with, like I've been saying to people. Like, it's just like, who do you have a fun game with? Whether it be G-Man coming back in, whether it be Sean in your division you've been dealing with for a while.
I'd probably say it's probably either, like you said, G-Man or Sean. G-Man's just my friend from home, so like we always have fun playing each other. And then Sean just been a thorn in my side for the last couple of Maddens. I just can't seem to beat. I beat him like 1 time, I think, in 2 Maddens. He's a little difficult, but he's always a fun game. It's always like a high scoring game.
He plays like a little rat too, so like he's like one of those games where he just pisses you off.
Yeah, I know his offense like the back of my hand, and he still beats me with it. I just can't
throw it short, keep it real simple, throw it to the running back 800 times.
Yeah, and the QB roll out to Josh Allen. I hope he doesn't have the running quarterback next year, because that's
luckily
so frustrating.
I think running QBs are dead in terms of being OP. Like, yes, like you said, Malik in open space with that speed will have it, but behind the line of scrimmage, they all seem slow again, kind of like Madden 21, like how quarterbacks were back then, not OP. So I think it'll be more of a pocket passing year. So he's gonna have to change his game plan, obviously. So would I. Mobile quarterbacks should be dead. But seconds final one. Biggest rival next Madden. Like, who do you either enjoy playing or who do you have a problem with that you're ready to put down?
I don't really got no problem with nobody. Like, I ain't never really had no real issue with nobody, man. We just having fun. It's a video game. But I don't really got nobody. Yeah. Madden problem. I mean, I can't really point nobody. I mean, I want to beat everybody, so I don't really got a problem.
Well, what's your best opponent? Who's the guy when you play, like, it's gonna be a good game, you never expect to automatically win? Like, you have a good time. It doesn't feel like any BS.
Ray.
Yeah, you and Ray have had some good ones.
Yeah, Ray about the only one. Trav, Keys. Yeah. Shout out to Trav and Keys, man. They're my boys. Shout out to them guys. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, Trav mentioned you as well. I figured that's the route you were going with your best matchup.
Yeah. Bobby is I give Bobby credit. Bobby, excuse my language, he's starting to show his ass a little bit. And I understand he because the team he built, and that's kudos to Bobby. You know what I'm saying? Bobby built that team and that team crazy. But he's been a lot more competitive with me this man, because before he wasn't competitive at all. But this man, he didn't run it up a little bit. So but them three the main guys, especially Ray, Trav, and Keys.
Who do you consider your biggest rival for next Madden? And again, like I've told everyone, it could be if you actually had a real problem with this guy, which no one really does. More so, like, who's the game that you really just enjoy? Like, it's gonna be a good game, and when you win, like, you're hype afterwards. Like, there's just that guy, you know.
I mean, I like trying to beat everybody, especially the competitive guys. So, but I mean, I would say the best thing that I like to play for is the one try to get more Super Bowls, like against especially the guys that I already got. Like, I just want to get more than you guys. So, I mean, I guess I don't really have a rival, but more of a drive to keep doing that. I don't want fucking Shay to ever have more than me. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. I don't think he's gonna get one. But if that they comes, he has more than me, bro, I'm done. Mine's over. I'm not playing anymore. So, like, I guess just Super Bowls. I like playing against all of you, and I love the trash talk after any game. I like the trash talk. I'm a big fan of it. So
I feel like we've had some pretty
I don't
good
know.
games. I mean, honestly, like as long as I've been around, your
Against
biggest
all of
breakdowns
the
have been us.
Yes, I have some. I get angry. I get my dude. I don't get angry at anything else in life really besides fucking Madden. I don't know what it is, but that game pisses me off more than anything on this planet. It just those little guys sometimes. I don't even want to get into it. They piss me off. I signed millions of virtual dollars for them not to make the play, and it pisses me off. Like, I put my time into this. They gotta make the play if I'm gonna sign them. Like,
What's biggest rival next Madden? Again, this doesn't have to be someone you just don't like. It's just who do you have the best games with?
It's for me, right? It's all about getting payback on the Raiders. This is like I said, beat me 3 times, and I'm only beating him once. So I definitely want to be able to kick his ass next Madden.
It's because he knows how you play, right? Because you guys go back in terms of playing Madden with each other.
I mean, to me, he's just like the couple of games. It's coming down. It's come down to the fourth quarter, and he's just got me. Like his his offense. Like I feel like I played him, and he was like hitting everything was like open. He knew where to go, and I was just like, damn. He scored like 40 points the last 2 games against me. Like he averaged 40, and I was keeping up with him. And then like fourth quarter would come, I'll throw like a bad interception, and then that's it. He would maintain a 2-possession lead and win the game. I mean, he's good. So when he's playing, he's good. Some people say he's trash. Che swears the Raiders is trash, and Che was almost. I mean, he kept talking about I'm undefeated against the Raiders, but he just lost them now. So, I mean, Raiders to me is Raiders good. He plays football and doesn't really try to cheat or anything like that.
Yeah, Browns
It's
nasty.
me, Trav, and Miles have been playing against each other for like I don't know how many years now. And it always comes down to like some stupid shit happening. Like we played each other for at least 10 years now. So that him and Miles starting off with like my 2 biggest competitions. Like out the gate, those are the 2 that I'd be worried about the most.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm guessing is what you're kind of saying too, is that they're the 2 where they might intimidate more users in the league, but when it comes to you 3, it's almost like childhood friend type playing. So
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like you see them as backyard football games. Like anyone could win that game versus like another user like me, JTC, Matt, we're playing them like we're looking at dominant users like shit. Like it's one of them. But for you, it's just another game. You know, you've been playing with them for however long, you know?
Yeah. And so it's like the Trav got nice user skills, but I think Miles might be a little better.
They're
Me and Miles,
entirely
when it
different
comes to
players. Yeah.
yeah,
But in a weird
when
way.
it comes to user skills, me and Miles are like up there. Like I know what he's going to do, and he knows what I'm going to do. So he anticipates it because we've been playing like for the last 10 years. I know what he likes to do. He know what I like to do. But and somehow Ray ends up sneaking in with his freaking cover 2 drop zone shit he runs. He'll run that out of 3-4 the whole freaking game. You could be
He
a
runs a
spread
weird
outfit.
defense. He has
Yeah.
the whole like box stacked with all these linebackers on the field, but his linebackers animate for whatever reason. Fred Warner plays like a safety.
Exactly. I don't get it. Like
I cannot throw
really
over
don't
Warner.
get it.
I cannot throw over Warner. He picks me off like a safety, but my linebackers have never jumped before. I don't really understand it.
Never done it. Never done it. I don't know what he does, but it's annoying. Never gonna worry about Jay. Jay always chokes. He'll get to the playoffs and choke.
What's interesting
And
about Trav and Miles is that like they're both good users, but in a different way. So Trav doesn't scare me as a Madden player. I think as a Madden player, he's like average, but as a football mind, he's superior. So when I play him, he doesn't beat me on the sticks. Like you're saying with user skill, like I out user him as the defender, I outrun him, I out, swerve him, I out juke him, I out spin him. My Madden mind, I out call plays on him. But the problem is as a football mind, like he knows how to run the right formations against my defense. He knows how to scheme against my cover 3 and cover 2 football knowledge that I don't have, right? He beats me in ways that I can't even anticipate because I'm just like, I see him do some shit. He'll come out like in a bunch and he'll have it on the left side because that's the strong side of the field. And he'll just route me up. And I'm just like, there's nothing I can do about that. That's just football knowledge. But then Miles, when me and him play, Miles is, again, he's really good at Madden. His is like you're saying, just like he's good with the sticks. He's good at juking. He's a great user. He knows how to bait you. Like he has that Madden mindset with football knowledge. But Spider he beats me in such a fucking annoying way. Cause he's like a football nerd. He's just outbraining me all game. He's coming out on the goal line, calling like the right defense and putting his guys in the right run fits.
You have no idea what it's like when it's because we all played in NCAA. Like we all had a franchise, online dynasty with college football, and that shit was ridiculous. Like, and you're right. Trav plays with more of a football knowledge, where me and Miles are like both skill wise on the sticks and actual football knowledge.
Yeah,
because like if he get rolling, Trav will get in his bag. Like if he gets hot, he can really get in his bag and like,
because then he starts to get good at Madden. Yeah, he gets used to the game, and then he becomes good at Madden with the mindset. Because we'll start arguing after a game, and I'll be like, "Bro, if I only got that fumble," and he'll be talking about how my guy came out in a 3-point stance, and I was lined up over the A. I'm like, "The fuck are you talking about?" Like, yeah, he's like, "I came out in halfback dive because you lined up over the left guard, and clearly, like, I'm gonna like, what the." You look at all that for real.
We can do that because like we know the terminology and stuff. So like every time we play, we say stuff like that because we know all the terminology and all that. So it's just a habit.
He's like, I remember when I was the Jags, him and B-Car were in my conference, right? And they were telling me like, I'm bragging about Gabe Leggett, this rookie I had who was like a 99 pass rusher. And they're telling me, bro, we ran to the side every time we played you. And I was like, I didn't realize because he had bad block shed. And like, they're checking out my block shed ratings. They're picking out the strong side, the weak side. I'm like, I'm just coming out there. I'm looking at ratings and I'm playing. Like, they knew my block sheds, the strong side to run against for the easy blocking.
Right. You want to know what's crazy? Remember that year I had like damn near 50 sacks with DeMarcus Lawrence?
I remember that year because I had like 40 and somehow still didn't get the sack record. It was one season too. Every other year was normal. That one was 50.
That one, I don't know what the hell was going on. I don't know. I wish I can get that one back because he's not even a superstar either.
I think Madden must have like buffed pass rushing during that season we had because every season we averaged like 20 to 30 sacks. And it wasn't just you. I know Zadarius Smith had like 40. Josh Allen had like 40. Lawrence had 52. Kenny Clark had like 30 out of the middle spot. Like it was just one season where everyone had that and went back to normal.
And it was nothing you can do to stop him, and he just kept. I forgot who said I was cheating. It probably was Drew.
A lot of people said you were cheating, but then I was like, but 10 other people have 40 plus too. So I mean, either we're all cheating. I don't know.
But yeah, I'm ready. I might dial back on Mutt this year. I don't know. Depends on how it goes.
I'm gonna load it up when the game comes out because franchise doesn't start for a month, so I got to play something right to get into the game.
Yeah.
I'll probably do like no money spent, just rock with it, see what happens.
Cause I got the what's the little edition one?
The top one, the 3 days early, right? Yeah, I got that too.
I ended up getting that one, so I'm gonna start it up when it first get out, and because I hate when it first comes out because everybody's like on the same playing field.
Yeah.
You can't get the good abilities yet. All the cards are like horrible. So you have to wait till like mid October to start heating up.
You can't
and
afford
you can actually
training,
get
so you can't do any of
yeah.
that yet. It's too expensive. Yeah.
So I'm gonna see how it goes.
Who's your biggest rival? Again, I probably should have worded that a bit better. So this is more just like who you either always have a great game with, like comes down to the wire, like no matter what happens, like it's a good game, or just someone that you like to beat. Who do you got?
Like the B is definitely Jack JTC. I mean, obviously, him and Raiders are 1 and 2 on my list of people I like to beat just because it's fun to mess with Raiders, and Jack, it's fun to just shit talk them. In terms of people I like to play, I like playing Niners. Always have. I match up well against him. I can bring weird blitzes, beat him in the Super Bowl. He kicked my ass last year, but yeah, I like matching up against him usually. Falcons always interesting. I like playing people that are just different because I'm sort of different with my blitzes. So I like playing teams that have weird offenses that I have to figure out. Yeah, those are really my top two in terms of difficult or good matchups that I like to play. I hate playing you, to be honest, because I hate how you play. But
I don't know how I'm gonna play next year. It's gonna be a little different. If quarterback's dead, I gotta find my new thing.
Yeah, you'll find it. You're a good user. I mean,
I usually figure it out.
Yeah, Bills can be interesting at times, but he's not very fun to play when he has Josh Allen. So I don't really like playing
me and
him.
him, I say not that we have the same game style, but we have the same play mindset. We find like 2 or 3 things that we like. We get super accustomed at doing it over and over and over again to the point where it's almost impossible to stop certain plays because I know every read, I know every like muscle movement, motion, how the defense is gonna react. So he plays kind of similar to me, which is why we piss some people off, win or loss.
Yeah, me probably on top of that list, but
Oh,
yeah,
I pissed him off probably the most. He got me suspended right before the bowl. So
yeah, got me a nice little Super Bowl.
I was doing the interview with him and I was like, who's your biggest rival? He's like, no one really gets me like upset like that. Like I just enjoy to play everyone. I was like, bro, you got me suspended.
That's a lie. That's
going to the Super Bowl. He's like, no, I do get angry, but like I don't have a rival. I was like, you got me suspended. I think we have biggest rival for this one.
I mean, me and Raiders have to be up there too. I mean, I could just
Yeah,
say the
you guys-
word bunch say the word bunch in the chat. It gets them going.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably leaving that division, so who knows if that'll rekindle at all. But I feel like you're probably one of those guys who are more rival within division, right? You're big, like
100%.
yeah. I never had a division like that in a while because this Madden I had Kev and Matt or Brian. Brian went MIA for the second half of franchise, and Kev went MIA after he realized that he wasn't going to win the division. He still plays his games though. He was active all Madden. He just stopped talking as much.
He has the opposite work schedule of me, so it's always interesting scheduling with him.
Yeah, no, it's hard to play him in terms of his scheduling because he has like he'll just hit you up like at 8 a.m. and be like, yo, ready to run, get home from work. And I was like, whoa. Like I just he's like, I'm about to go to bed. I'm like, I just woke up. So we have to like always match up in between.
Yep. Yep, exactly.
And who's your biggest rival for next Madden? Like I said, could be anything. Could be just a guy you have great games with.
Really, whoever's in my division, I usually be a little harder in the chat. Try to make those games a little more interesting because you're playing them twice a year, every season.
I see that actually. You do talk more in chat towards your division rivals, whether it be Real Talk, Reed, or Matt.
Yeah.
You're gonna miss Real Talk and Reed in your division?
Miss or see him again.
You think you're going back there?
You never know.
That's gonna be a hard division. It's gonna be a really hard division from a Madden standpoint because the Chargers are stacked. The Chiefs might be the worst team Madden wise left in that division, and they're still a great team.
Yeah, I don't think Real Talk would want me in his division for the 3rd straight Madden. Being the Chargers.
Oh, you were the Chargers last. Oh, you're right. You're not going back there.
I pick a new team every Madden.
So. Yeah, so Broncos and Raiders will be taken unless you plan on going to one of those teams. So that leaves you with 2 other. I mean, we technically pick ahead of both of them. So it's possible you could take one of their teams, but I feel like I've been the only one to make that egregious move thus far. People usually leave the teams alone.
All right, so personally, I just hope that we can revive the league again. I feel like the league's at a very dead point. We got a lot of spots to fill. But if we fill those spots up and we're all having fun and there's no stupid like BS going on, like if we're all just chilling, the league's going to get way better. We can all agree that a couple Maddens ago, this league was so much more fun than it is now. Another thing in the chat is just like, yeah, like if we're just having fun, we're all vibing. If we're all just fighting over stupid bullshit over games, stuff like that, nothing's gonna get done. It's gonna be not fun. But yeah, when it comes to personal comments, that's how I feel. But outside of that, I think we're all good.
The key is going to
For-
be the beginning of the Madden. That was the biggest problem this year, is that we lost like 7 spots pretty early on. Like, and then the glitch happened, which turns people off. Like between glitches and losing some people early, everyone hates coming in past year like 1 or 2. And we go to year like 10, 11, right? So it's going to be hard. So the key is going to be getting some good users early on that stick through it. I feel like we added that new guy who's the Rams, Panthers. We can keep those guys here and keep building as we have in the past. We're going to be fine next year. This Madden was flawed from the start.
Oh man, shit. I'm gonna guarantee that I'm at least take home 2 in Madden 23. I'm gonna take on 2. That's my guarantee right there. Baltimore had 2 chips in Madden 23. I'm also make another bowl. This is gonna be pretty fucking bold, but I'm gonna go on a limb and say Shea will make a conference championship.
You think so?
I think so.
He'll have a good team. He's gonna probably be a top 10 pick.
That's why I said that. I think he's gonna have a damn good team, and I think with the whole overall engine changing up and so forth, I think a lot of guys are gonna really have to get adjusted to it. Even some of the more dominant users and everything, because it's more so, I would say, football based now. It's not a lot of that glitchy shit that you normally would see from the past Mads and everything. So I really think Shea got an opportunity to go into a conference ship. And I'm just going to limit, just make a crazy ass bold prediction and say he will. So for that, he's taking 2 ships home. And I like Keith to make I like Keith to make a return to the bowl as well. I think Keith's gonna have a pretty good man and everything.
I think his
like
his game style fits this Madden a bit better. If he's gonna be run heavy how he used to be, with a heavier pass rush and less pass time, that could fit him a bit better. This year was very pass centric for everyone. There was no pass rush. So if you weren't passing, you were doing it wrong. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think a lot of teams are going to fall based on what I've heard from top 10. People are really, we've been here for a few years now. I think a lot of people are really going to have fun with it. Like, you're going home. Ray always goes home. I might go home. Sean's always goes for bad teams. Like, we're going to see like Chiefs, Bills, Cardinals, all those top teams drop to the bottom half of the 10 and into the teens. So
yeah, it's going to be a very good, man. I'm looking forward to it. Like I told the boys in the chat the other day, man, I ain't been this excited for Madden in a minute, dog. It's almost like opening up the gifts on Christmas and everything. So, man, I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully everybody, have a great Madden franchise, man. It should be a lot of fun.
What are your personal comments? Like bold predictions. It could be about you. It could be about anybody. What do you think?
For Madden 23, should be fun. I'm excited to see Keith got his fire back, so I don't want to hear that mud excuse. I just want everybody to get that fire back and come ready to play. Let the best man win. Like I said, I'm calling it now. I expect to at least walk away with 2 bowls next season, and keep that reign going. Hopefully, I'm gonna go ahead and say right now, Falcons is my team, so hopefully we can keep doing our thing with Atlanta and go from there. But I'm excited, ready to get this shit going. I'm moving, so I moved to Maryland on Saturday, so my internet should be up. I think my household goods get to Maryland the same day the game drops on the 16th if you got the early access. So I'll be doing a lot of labbing or whatever, get that month.
This was the best time for you to move then, because you have like a whole month off anyways. I mean, not that this matters like that, but yeah.
Yeah, I was stressing my wife out. I was like, you need to fucking call the cable company as soon as we get our address, because I don't want to hear that shit. I want to play my Madden. So I'm excited, man. I've been but I'm a Madden head. That's all I really play. I really don't play Xbox other than Madden. I mean, I get on Call of Duty every blue moon, and I try to play Grand Theft Auto. That shit ain't my type of game. But Madden is all I play. So I've been playing Players Lounge these past 2 days. Crazy to me that these people in Players Lounge be betting their money and they're horrible. So it's like free fucking money at this point. Like you said, we know the game so well, so I know what's going to be open. But as soon as I hike the ball now, especially on like my New England playbook I've been running for 3-4 seasons, as soon as I hike the ball, I know what's going to be open for the most part. But that's what gets me to throw a lot of picks too, because I'm, like you said, I'm about timing. So
it's crazy too. Like when I just played Kev, I do all Ask Madden this final season. Like I'm at that point where I'm not even trying to like pick my plays, but same thing. I can call any formation. Just by seeing the defensive alignment, I'm like, all right, the tight end over the top is going to get right behind the coverage. But like exactly, sometimes I'll automatically throw it because it's always open. And then that one play, the cornerback drops or gets all fluky. And that's exactly how I throw my picks. But yeah, next year should be different. I read a thing about advanced AI. So they're supposed to be adjusting to repetitive play calls. I don't know how that worked, but let's say you call a post 4 times in the game. By the 5th time, the cornerback's not biting to the inside. He's staying outside. So if that's a thing, that could automatically get rid of repetitive offenses. But I feel like they promised that before, so we'll have to see how that actually works.
Yeah, I heard. Like I said, I hate fucking reading all that stuff, so I always just wait for Eric Wayweather to drop his fucking because all he does is take the read along and makes a video and makes thousands of dollars off of it. But he was talking about that this morning, and then talk about how they're fixing the corner route. So I guess people last year, and see, this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't even be knowing all this shit, so I didn't know that if you had Hot Route Master and you put somebody on a corner audible, that the corner was completely different than the regular corner route, which was a lot more effective than the regular corner route. So I didn't even know shit like that. But I'm guessing they're fixing all that. They're fixing being able to block the tight end when they're in a 2-point stance. So once again, making everything more realistic, which I think is going to cater to my wants more than anything. And hopefully it helps some people stop using all these excuses about the game being fucking fake and glitched out. So we'll see.
I mean, nothing really. I mean, everyone knows like the kind of player I am. Like, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not gonna lose to you by like 50 maybe. I kick competitive here and there. I'm not gonna win a bowl probably. I might sneak in the playoffs to get lucky. Have a bad season sometimes to for other users. But I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna play. I'm gonna just have fun with it. I love the game. It's my favorite game of all time. So I mean, I'm not gonna lead the league. I'm not gonna try to get kicked again. It's gonna be fun for me. I'm just gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, I think if it really depends who joins your division, because I was telling this to Trav earlier. This might be the year where a lot of those dynasty type teams like the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, well, Ravens maybe, but they're not going to be occupied by great users. Because if you're looking at like my projected lineup that I did, they want to say that I'm wrong, but more or less the teams I'm saying are the ones I'm hearing from certain people. Like Panthers should go early, Giants for me should go early, Falcons should go early. Some people want the Eagles. So you're going to see a lot of teams that often go like either unrostered or by bad users get taken first, which leaves a lot of great teams to be taken by poor users. So if you're in the East with the Jets, let's say Che gets the Bills and the Dolphins end up falling mid-round. Like, yes, they have great teams. You're not going to be dealing with like the elite users that run divisions, right? So, yeah. And the Jets might be the best team in that division from a Madden standpoint after a season. So I think you got a shot in there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens with the division. I definitely pay attention to that. But at the end of the day, like I chose the Jets knowing Sean was going to be the Bills. I knew he kind of owns me in Madden. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. If it ends up being like Chea gets the Bills, fine. I like playing Chea. He's a fun game.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it could be a lot different this year with who has top-heavy teams. It might not be the best users get the best teams. I feel like all the best users have taken those. Like I've taken my Ravens. I took the Ravens right at top team. Miles went to the Chiefs at one point. Jay went to the Chiefs. All these top users have already taken the good teams. I think that everyone's going to get back to either taking their hometown team or trying out a rebuild, which a lot of people haven't really been doing recently.
Yeah, I hope people take their hometown teams. I've all this stuff about like maybe you taking the Ravens in spite of whatever. Like it's a game. It's not really that deep. But then again, like, I mean, I don't want to have like Raiders saying he's going to get the Jets. He doesn't get the Raiders because he hates me. Like, I don't care. He hates me. It's fucking Madden. Like, yeah, whatever. But I mean, like, do your own thing. Go your team if you want to be the team. Like, you can make them a good team on your own way. So I mean, we'll see how it goes. I want my team though. I want my home team.
Yeah, I think the Giants might be the worst team in the entire franchise to take. I've been taking a look. Like, they're like that level, like that team that goes to the back. So it's a little discouraging. Like I said, the Jets, I would say, are 10 out of 10 from a rebuild standpoint. Giants maybe a 5. That's only because they have Kayvon and Neal. But outside of that, I really don't like much else in that roster. No comments as far as predictions for next year, how you think you're going to do. Some other users, like you said, some are going to fall off and be exposed. If you want to talk more to specifically what gameplay style you think is going to fall off, what do you think is going to change? Anything you got?
Oh, to be honest, it really, I don't even know. Like, it's a video game, so anything can happen. I expect you to adjust because you know the game to the T as far as abilities and animations, whatever. You got that stuff pat down. So, I know you had Lamar, you ran around with escape like you about crazy, but I think you'll adjust. I do. I thought about it for a while, but like, nah, I think he gonna just be a normal type guy in the league. But I think you're gonna find a way. You're gonna figure something out just because your knowledge of the game. Like I said before, because when you had the Jags, yeah, you didn't have escape when you won those two, but people don't understand Deep Out Elite, that was Madden when it came, I think it was Madden 21 when you won those two with the Jags.
Madden
so
20.
that ability was debuted with Madden 20, right?
Madden 20.
So yeah, that ability was so OP. And then you had it with Chark, and you knew how to trigger the animations. So you know what I'm saying? So you gonna find a way. I mean, like I said,
Yeah, I mean, it's every year. It's going to change. And 21, I
yeah.
had Groves. Like you had Evans Groves. We were swerving around with abilities like
Oh
crazy.
yeah, Groves was crazy, but Mike Evans is hands down the best running back.
Yeah, I
in
never
NRG
got my
history.
abilities. Evans had everything needed.
Yeah, he was the best running back in NRG
But there you go. See, that talks to adjusting. Like that year, you're run heavy. This year, you're pass heavy. You know, it's just we adjust every year. That's what the good users do.
Yeah, so it's gonna be crazy. Like I said before, defensively, I think the game is just gonna be based on defense. I do believe once they come out of couple patches, we'll still be able to put up, good numbers offensive, but it just won't be to this. Like I threw for like 500 last night against JTC. He's trash, but still like 500, like that's crazy.
500
like
used to
you
be a
don't see a
stat
lot
that
of
game.
even real. In real life, you don't see a lot of guys throw over 500 all the time. Like that's rare. You know what I'm saying? So you rarely see people throw 400. And even though it's a wide open, pass happy type lead, you don't even see that really like that. So it's gonna be interesting, man. I can't wait. Like I said before, I don't want to come out here and be all passive aggressive like you claim I am. I'm gonna say what I want to say regardless. People feel a certain way, that's just what they feel. But
Yeah, I like it though. It keeps the chat going.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't like a
keep the
soft
chat
teddy bear
going.
chat
Yeah.
at all times.
Nah, I mean,
That's no fun.
because it's not fun that way. So, like I said, I appreciate it. Like I said, this give me away for 45 minutes to an hour to get my competitive just juice out. You know what I'm saying? And enjoy it. And that's what it's all about. Like I said, man, I just can't wait. I know the team selection coming up. So I feel
Last
you
year
get
it
busy.
landed on August 12th. So same timeline for Madden this year. I'd
What?
imagine. We know next week, give or take, next weekend. Hopefully, if Ray's already, it sounds like Ray's comments have insisted that he already has an order in mind based on the comments he made. So hopefully, we get it like in a week.
So you think that order that you put, you think that's gonna be the order?
I mean, I'd say at most I'm off on most guys by like 1 or 2 spots. Now I said my biggest mistake could be you, and that's only because I don't know how Ray's going to view the media, right? Because technically, right, if we just look at this Madden, Spider had three bowls, and he was on the podcast once, and he talks the most in chat, so that could lift him up above you, right? And then Bobby just won the last two, right? Not that was crazy, but he was on the podcast for more than a few episodes, so
right.
And if I look at how my pick selection went when I was pick 32 to a top 6 pick, it wasn't just because I was winning. It was because I was doing media stuff. So if he factors that how he factored it for me for that jump, I think Bobby could overtake. But you're going to be, like I said, if it's based on past history, you're going to be pick 5 or 4, whatever it is. And if it's based on media, you'll probably be 7. But I'd say I'm within 1 or 2 spots on most people.
Okay. I mean, you gotta, I can see that. You just gotta understand that, that list never really goes. I mean, it goes by this match. You're right, but it ain't like I didn't win. Like I won also this match. I just ain't won no more than 1. I mean, I got 1. I don't got 2 or 3. But you gotta understand and realize that consistently I've been winning. Like it ain't just been this Madden. It's been the last 3 Maddens. I've been
Depends
winning.
on the recency bias.
Yeah.
How much does he look
So
at
you
recent?
You gotta understand that, and then too, I think you was in here before, but you left, right? Did you leave?
Oh yeah, no, that was like 2014. That was almost like 10 years ago. I was like in middle school.
Oh, wow, really? Oh, so like I said, and then I don't know how they gonna handle me and Trav. I'm cool with Trav being first. Like I said, I'm not really now. I'm not really into oh my God, who going first instead of third? Like, because I done been first like the last 3 times we did team selections. Because it's been the last 2 Maddens and then the restart we had. I was first too, so I'm cool with that. But my thing is, I just don't want to be jumped based off of just one Madden. I mean, because we gotta understand, like, you gotta be consistent. Like I said about with Bobby breaking through, and he was like, no, he didn't break through. Like, you were in, but before me, and you didn't win to the last Madden, so you just broke through. And then this is your first time winning multiple bowls in one Madden. I've been doing that, and the same thing with you. You won 1. This man, like I have, what you won two Maddens ago?
Yeah.
And you didn't win none last Madden. So, like I said before, you it gotta be based off just more than that. But I get what you're saying. And with the media part, what you do is crazy, man. Like it's dope the stuff that you be doing because it take time, and effort to do it, But not everybody can do that. Like, because I don't have the time on my hands, to do stuff like that, even though I wish I could, but I can't. So I feel like that shouldn't be weighed as heavy because that's something we can't really control. Like I can't control, being able to do that. But I can control when I get on the sticks. Like, and everybody know when they play NC Rays, like who I am. So when we play. But like I said, it should be fun, man. I think it's gonna be dope. Like I said, regardless whether I go 4th, 5th, 6th, whatever, it's cool. It is what it is. But I do got between the Colts, the Titans, and the Texans, man. Them definitely my top 3 choices. I don't think nobody gonna take them from me. So I think I should be all
It's
right.
funny about team selection. It's an entire ego thing for myself as well. Like me being pick 4, pick 7 does not matter. If I'm taking the Giants, you, Trav, Sean, no one's taking them, right? Maybe outside of Jay. If you're taking the Jags in the top, no one's taking them. But exactly like you're saying, it's just like we don't view our team selection as the team we're taking. We view it like as our seniority and dominance within the league, right? That's exactly how I view it too. Like team selection is competitive, not because of the teams. Like you're not taking Ravens, I'm not taking Ravens. I did that one time, but I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
But it's just a competition, which I actually like. I think team pick selection is great for the league because it keeps us active throughout.
Most definitely. It keep you on your toes, man. Keep you going. Keep you want to keep winning. You know what I'm saying? So you can get rewarded in the end. And it's dope. Like, that was a dope feeling for me to be picked first, especially the last 3 times we've really been picking. Like I said, the last 2 Maddens and then the restart we had. Like I picked
and you're
first.
Taking Jags, right? Like Jags are going pick 32 if you don't take them. That's when I got them, 32, the year that I joined when you switched to Chiefs. Yeah. I got Jags at 32. Like, so it doesn't even matter where you really pick. It's more about just like seniority.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Like I said, I think the Colts, the Titans, and the Texans, man, they got 3 teams. Those are 3 teams I'm really interested in building. I think it'd be a good thing for the league. Maybe somebody else can get the Jags. I can play them twice a year.
Yeah,
It'd be fun.
We'll see when it comes. I mean, like I said, hopefully August 12th last year was team selection, pick selection, like when we got our picks. So we'll know the selection hopefully in a week or 2. And then I imagine we pick teams right by that roster update. It's probably first week of September.
I think it's always the first week. Yeah, because it's the first week. It's the week before the opening. Yeah. So it'll be like, the first game is on that Thursday. So it'll be maybe Tuesday or Wednesday when they come out. So it'll be I know it's the Bills and the Rams that play that Thursday on the 9th or the 8th. So it'll probably come out like on the 6th or the 7th or something like that. The first updated.
So we'll probably have teams around September 1st through 3rd.
So yeah, we have, and then hold on, when do the 10-hour trial thing come out? That should
Sean
come out.
Told me the 16th.
Could the game come out the 18th, right?
Probably the 19th. Then it's usually
the 19th.
I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
Oh, okay. Okay, well that's about right. That makes sense. So who you plan on? You plan on getting the Giants, like for real?
I'm between a few teams right now. I mean, Giants are my number 1 right now, but I was looking at the Bengals. The Bengals look like a fun team to play with.
Ooh, I'm gonna tell you, I forgot who I played with the Bengals with. Who I played against, but I had them. No, I played them with Keys. They're gonna be fun.
They have
if
a
the
big
right
3.
user get their hands, if the right user that's good get their hands on that team.
Jamar, Mixon, and Burrow. It's a big 3. It's like LeBron, Wade,
I don't
Bosh.
know what it is about Mixon. Like, so I played with Austin Eckler. Of course, I played with ETN. But when I played with Mixon, he just moved different. I don't know what it is, but he moves.
This Madden too. Cav's been killing him Mixon all year. He's like a power back that can run.
He's power, but he like got that giddy up to get up out of it. But I mean, the way he hit the hole on the beta, like,
and he's
it was
skinny.
crazy.
He gets through the whole. Like, he doesn't have that big
he gets
power back
so skinny, man. Yeah, and then you got Chase and T.
Boyd.
Yeah, so it's and Boyd.
And that safety they got, I don't remember his name, but he's really good.
Bates, Jesse Bates.
And Daxton.
Hold on, they got Daxton Hill from Michigan.
Yeah.
They drafted him?
He has like 93 speed. Some.
Oh, well then, yeah. See, whoever get them, they're gonna be whoever get them that's a good user, they're gonna be tough to beat. Because I said, they're young. You can still build them the way you want to build them. They're young and still good, but they're gonna be good throughout the whole entire franchise. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get even better if you build right. So yeah. So who else was you saying besides the Bengals and the
Bengals,
Giants?
Giants. I've definitely taken a look at the Panthers. I don't know if I'd actually pull that trigger though, because I've never really liked the Panthers like that. But I want to put Malik Willis, but I'm not going to the Titans either. But right now, Bengals and Giants are my top pick. I like a few other teams, but if I'm gonna go bad, it's gonna be Giants, right? I'm not gonna go pick a rebuilding team. That's not the Giants. I might as well rebuild the Giants. If I'm gonna pick a good team, I'm leaning towards Bengals because I think the mobile quarterback's dead this year, from what I've seen. So I have no inclination to go towards the Bills or the Chiefs. Like I don't feel that anymore, you know.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to figure out what Madden is doing because I'm trying to figure out why would you make it. What's the point of having escape artist? Period. Because even with Kyler, like it's impossible to get it because you got to run. It's like 6 times you got to run for 10 yards or more, and you got to do that 6 times just to get it activated. So like you're never gonna in a game. That's never gonna happen. I mean, based off the users that we got in the league, that ain't gonna happen unless you playing somebody like JTC or no disrespect. What's my boy name? He good people. He left the Captain Steels. They get the Titans all the time. Like you play somebody like him, like you know what I'm saying. Like,
but even then, you still can't run. Like I versed Trav with the Giants, and he tried running with Lamar. He's not moving in mud with a 97 speed. So even then, it's like they'll have to like completely take their D line into zones for you to have space to even get off.
Yeah, I mean, for you to really get off of it. So yeah, they really took that out, which I'm cool with. But at the same time, it's like you got to make it to where Lamar is different. Like you know what I'm saying. Him and Kyler, they're still fast. Like you know what I'm saying. So you got the guys in the league like Josh Allen that can still move, but it's honestly like everybody really like feel the same. So I mean, they're pretty much forcing, you know, hey, can you move and can you play without escape? Pretty much is what they're telling, you know, the gamers that get the game. So it's gonna be dope. But yeah, those if you get the Giants, man, I don't know why you just go ahead and get them. That rebuilding thing it's tough. But if you're a good user, you'll be able to, you know, navigate your way through it. I know you'll be in a division with Keys. That'll be fun and funny. But I don't know. I don't see why. I mean, go ahead and get him, man. I mean, you didn't took the route, you know, before with my Jags, but you built them. You know what I'm saying? You built charts. So I mean, just do it again. And that's my thing. Like, and I ain't trying to throw no shade nothing towards nobody, but like, it's a difference, man. When you first get the game, everybody know it's a difference between a team like the Jaguars or the Giants and somebody like the Bills, you know, or whoever, the Niners. I mean, I'm just naming teams. I ain't really just saying, you know, anybody or shapes. I'm just saying like it's a difference. So being able to build, like it's tough and still win at the same time. Like that junk not easy. So that should be, you know, going under consideration too. I think when it comes to, you know, just teams, just everything in general. Because I mean, it's hard like doing that. And I think, like I said, with me, when I took Seattle, you know, that was the first time I had besides the Chiefs. In that year, after the restart, I was at that point like, whatever. Because I was going to run with my Jags that year before we had the restart. Because I had just got a Woozier from Keys, and I had Woozier and Ramsey at corner. Like, I had everything. It was crazy. It was crazy that we did the restart and I got the Chiefs. But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But they definitely should be put in consideration, though, who people get. I mean, out the gate, because it's a big difference. You got, you know, really good teams, and, you know, then you got teams that's still building. They got to build and then win. It's crazy. It's hard. I ain't gonna lie. Getting my Jags the last 2-3 Maddens, it's been tough. But I knew I would get them this year because we got Trevor. I know he was gonna have superstar development. I never had a quarterback that had that type of development, so I knew, you know, I was gonna get him this year. But man, I wish I'd known the way them quarterbacks were gonna play. So I don't want to have me some
That's
fun.
why I went ahead and stole the Ravens when I was playing that beta and stuff.
I mean, you were right though. You knew already because you told me. You know what I'm saying?
I told you in the preseason. Actually, I'm gonna take the Ravens if I get that pick.
The quarterbacks were crazy,
and I'm gonna have 2K rushing with him. And yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but we'll see, man. Like I said, it's gonna be a defensive game. I think it's one sneaky team that nobody's really talking about that I think if the right user get their hands on, there'll be a problem. Well, I know Sean mentioned them in the group chat because he had put a pic of Jalen Hurts, but the Eagles,
That's
Eagles.
part of my decision-making process. So
Look,
if I have Kais as the
man,
Cowboys and Sean as the Eagles, and then
look,
someone gets Washington football team, before you know it, that division's a super division, and I'm having a
look,
rebuilding team.
look, with
Hurts can
Hurts,
play.
he can play. I know. I won a Super Bowl with.
Hurts can play.
He's
Especially if
serviceable.
throw power doesn't matter as much, which we don't know yet. But
yeah, you can play with him. You can, and then you got AJ Brown with Devontae Smith, and you got Quiz in the slot with 98 speed. And then defensively, I forgot that they got Bradbury from the Giants, and him and Slay with Maddox in the slot.
They could win year one and still build towards the future. It's like a double-sided
right
in that team. So I do like them. I just never liked Philly like that. That's fine. I'm very picky with my franchise teams. Like there's certain cities I like to play in, there's certain colors I like to play with. You know what I mean? Like I don't like the Lions, right? They could have Jameson Williams and everything. I can't be Detroit. I'd be unhappy by season 3 of being Detroit, right? But Philly looks good. They look really good.
And then I don't know if you look at the actual team, but Jordan Davis.
He's got like 80 speed.
He got like 80 speed.
At like 300 something pounds.
He gonna be crazy if somebody. I was like, yeah. So it's a lot to think about. I'm just looking forward to it. I am. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, but them 3 teams I got in the AFC South, man, I think that's who I'm gonna roll with. We see where it takes us, man.
Hey, we can get a curveball. You know, Jay's the only wild card in the top 10 every time. I do not know where he's gonna go.
Yeah, he can. With Jay, don't tell him where he'd go. He'd be.
I already talked to him. He genuinely doesn't know, and that's true. Even when it's his pick he's pick 2, right? 49ers.
He picks at the last minute.
He's pick 1 because 49ers go every year. He's the first pick. He has every team in the league, and his second pick always takes him a day and a half to get through. So,
yeah,
it could go a lot of ways. If he takes Giants, if I'm pick 4, right, that gives me 2 picks to now change my whole game plan, right? Which could be Bengals. Now let's say Sean takes Bengals. Suddenly I'm taking Panthers. Suddenly let's just say a whole snowball effect. So it really depends where Jay goes, or maybe he takes Panthers and Bengals at 2. I can see him going Bengals. So it really depends where he goes. He can go Browns. He's going to change up the whole format of this draft. So I'd like to know where he's going ahead of time, but he doesn't tell anyone.
Honestly, and then too, I want to go somewhere where ain't nobody won a Super Bowl, like as far as the team in NRG, where nobody's actually won. I mean, that's what I was thinking about doing too the other day, because I was like, I think the only team, there's some teams that haven't won in there yet.
Dolphins haven't won.
Up there. Dolphins haven't won.
Patriots, I don't think have won.
They just haven't won?
I haven't been there that long, but I don't think so. I don't know. I know there's definitely a few. Seahawks won back when Drew.
I won back to back.
You won, so did Drew.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's definitely a few. I know Bengals have never won, I don't think, right?
They have. I think. They have.
Sean win when he had kitty cat?
When Sean had that crazy glitchy, like, scrambling quarterback he had named, like, Kitty Cat or something weird.
Okay. See, I don't know. I have to go back, but I do agree with that because, honestly, like, when you look at the league records, right? When people join the league, they like to look at the league records, see who's won bowls and stuff. No one knows the difference between mine and your bowls. And what I mean by that is when they look at Jaguars who won 4 in Madden 20, they think you won 4 in Madden 20. When it wasn't. You won the first 2 as Jags. I won the second 2. But as you're saying, like, Jags are your team. So it's like when you look at the banner, when you win it once with a unique team like the Jags or the Dolphins, you're the Dolphin Bulls,
Yeah.
That would be cool to have your own.
Yeah. And they're going to be – the Dolphins going to be a decent team. I just don't think with Tua there, like, whoever get him got to get him out of there as quick as possible. That means if you got to trade somebody, move up in the draft and get somebody, because I play with the Dolphins too, and I ain't like the way the way it felt with him.
He's a lefty. Throwing the ball. He has like that weird throw to the side. I don't know. I don't like lefties like that.
I don't like that. So I'm not getting the Dolphins. I will honestly tell you that I ain't looking their way. Depends on who's comfortable playing with Tua. You got a good user, they're gonna be a problem because with Waddle and Hill, and then you got Mostert in the backfield, and you got Gesicki, the tight end. They arguably have the top offense from day one.
They're pretty much the new Chiefs. It's just that you downgrade Mahomes to get a better team overall.
Yeah, you just downgrade Mahomes and you get a better version of Miko a better player, period, in Waddle, and faster. You bring Hill, you get a crazy fast running back. I think the fastest back on the game. So Yeah, they're gonna be crazy too. Like I said, it just depends on who's comfortable with playing with Tua. But I won't be getting them though. I won't
I
be
said
getting
this
them.
earlier. I think this is the first Madden in a long time where I'd be comfortable with almost 32 out of the 32 teams. Like even if I was picked
Oh,
last,
no lie, because there's so many different like routes you can go because it's not really like no bad options really
and the
out there.
bad teams have generational type franchise players. Like even the Bears, like
Exactly.
last on my list, I still get Justin Fields. I could start a franchise around that,
And if
The
somebody ever
Rams
got their hands
have
on Justin
Stafford.
Fields,
I don't like
wow.
Stafford, but they have a Super Bowl team around him. You get a rookie quarterback and you're back and running with Donald and Ramsey and all them. So
Right. It's so many different ways you can go. Shout out to Ray, in the NFC West. Some people are, well, I don't know who's gonna be, that way with him as far as trying to get out there to play with him, but it's not that bad, man. So my Seattle boys, we got two. Joey, shout out to Joey. I don't know if Joey gonna
the
play it now. He got
Seahawks,
that
low
one with the
key,
Cardinals.
are good
The
too.
Seahawks though,
Kenneth, you see Kenneth Walker?
nah.
He's
Is
got
he
like
the
93
best?
speed, 92, 93 speed.
Huh?
I didn't think he was that fast, but yeah, he got like 92,
Nah,
93 speed.
he not. If he's fat, he not. Don't
And
worry
I think
about
he has
that.
weight and power, right?
Yeah.
So they have
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker, DK Metcalf. I think they still have Lockett. All they need is a quarterback, and they're back in it.
Yeah. I still wouldn't. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you do got DK, and Lockett, but I don't know. I wouldn't go that route. Not this year. I mean, me personally.
I'm talking
I
more
would.
Ray's division. Like he's gonna get 3 people in there. The only problem is, like you said, if it wasn't me, you or Trav going there, most people don't go to the West.
Nah, but I mean, I made it cool for people to start winning Super Bowls in the NFC West. I started that trend. Then Joey won. I Trav won 3.
Oh,
So
Joey too. Yeah, there you go. So like that's 3.
yeah, Joey had one. Yeah,
Me, you, Joey, Trav have been the last 4 people in that division. So,
Yeah.
but if we don't, I don't think any of us are going there this time, from what I've gotten. So you might end up seeing that division filled in picks 20s. We have that guy Ram the Seahawks, who's a Seahawks fan. He might go there. You'll get one of those guys who see the Cardinals at pick 17 because they never get a good pick, and the Cardinals fell like, oh my God, Kyler Murray, he'll fall there.
Yeah, and then I don't know though. Offensively, with getting Hollywood, they're gonna be good.
I almost was going back cards when I first saw that.
Yeah,
That's why I went
the
the Ravens.
defense is gonna be the same. I mean, you got Buda Baker X Factor. You're gonna have Isaiah, of course, lurking in the middle, and then you're gonna have Byron Murphy. He's gonna be superstar. JJ Watt, whatever. I'm sure he's probably still gonna have abilities. I know they lost Chandler Jones, but so defensively they still gonna be good. And then you just add Hollywood Brown to replace Christian Kirk, who's a lot faster.
You
know
got
what I'm saying?
Rondale
Already
Moore.
with D Hop. Then you got Rondale Moore.
Oh,
So,
and
yeah.
Trey McBride. I don't know if you checked out his stats. The rookie.
He with the Cardinals?
Yeah, Trey McBride has an 87 speed, 90 excel at tight end. At you think he's tall too. So that's literally Caleb Starkey again. Let's just say that same build.
Yeah, that's the same build. If somebody can develop him, by year 3, he'll be a top tight end in the league. I noticed in the chat earlier, Bobby was talking about he might potentially be going back to the Falcons because they got some quarterback that they converted to a middle linebacker. And he got like 90 speed, 94
The
excel.
whole team looks good. Pitts and London, they said in the blog post that there's going to be more mismatches, which makes sense, right? I hated in this past game how you could throw a jump ball up to a 6 foot, whatever, Kyle Pitts, and 5'9" Bryce Callahan just has to grab his waist and the ball pops out, right? That was always kind of stupid.
Yeah,
So
it pissed me
Falcons are
off.
big.
Yeah, that's why, and I noticed that too, because when I played with the Chargers and I had Mike Williams, man, and I mean, deep threat. I mean, I'm throwing that rock. And if he one-on-one, I'm throwing to him. He was going, for the majority of the time, going up and getting him and coming down with the ball. Not actually popping up 50 feet in the air, like you said, or the
That was
corner
the dumbest
grabbing his
thing.
waist.
Yeah, you can't even.
That
That's
was
why I
the
don't throw
stupidest
contested
mess
balls
ever.
anymore.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be back as far as with the deep passes. So I'm excited for that. I'm just looking at the quarterback situation, though. How they got people ranked. I know Herbert gonna be crazy because he got like 96 throw power out the gate, so he gonna probably end up with 99, definitely 98. But I know sometimes they do get that extra +1 throwing power too, so he might get to 99. And yeah, he gonna be crazy. He gonna be crazy. That whole team gonna be. The Chargers are gonna be stupid, like I said, and then the AFC West. I mean, with the Raiders, of course, he probably gonna take them. And then Denver gonna be good. Like I said, you got Russell Wilson. I'm gonna be honest, man, the Chiefs not that attractive no more. I mean, Not without Tyreek.
They have
In my
Hardman,
opinion,
which is a
I mean,
replacement.
you got Hardman,
But
which is a
Hardman doesn't play
replacement,
like
but
Tyreek, that route running and
yeah,
that movement. You know, like the players that you develop to 99 speed don't always play like the ones that start off at 99 everything like Tyreek does.
yeah, they don't play the same. So I don't think the Chiefs gonna be, that attractive. Somebody might get them in like the late 20s
Oh,
or
and they got no
something. But
cap. So even if you want to you can't really
yeah,
build that
and
roster up. You can only deal with what you got and hope some
yeah,
guys retire like Frank Clark, get people out of there and then slowly start building. But I don't want to deal with a dead roster with Mahomes in a year where quarterbacks don't feel OP like that to me. So
right. Like I said, it's cap crazy. It's cap hell over there. So I don't know somebody will be to deal with that. But we'll see, man. But I am excited for it. Like I said, no, there's no personal beef. And I'm gonna say it now while I'm up here. Anybody that didn't like what I said, I mean, I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, it's a video game. Like everybody trying to their own opinion. We just having fun. I'm just answering questions. So, don't nobody take it to heart, about what I said, but that's just how I feel. Um, but I'm interested to see how that how everything gonna shake out. Like you said, for the team selection, with that 4 through that 7, that's gonna tell, how stuff gonna shake out, especially coming down from who you get, who I might get, but we know Trav getting the Ravens, but to see, and in the way Bobby talking, I don't know, he might end up going Falcons again. That'd be funny,
I don't
if you
trust him.
get
Yeah, he says Falcons. I mean, he seems pretty certain about it. It's a good team. I would do it too. But at last second, he went to
yeah,
Buffalo. I never know with him.
yeah, and then like I said before, if you end up getting the Panthers and you in the same division with Bobby, that'd be funny. That'd be
No, I
hilarious.
can't
That'd
deal
be
with him all year. You talk like I was telling whoever I interviewed earlier about this. Like Bobby's the guy that you could beat him, you lose. You lose to him, you lose, and you don't even play him and you lose. Like the way his personality is in the chat, like you could beat his ass by 40 and still look like you lost in chat. Like the way he talks to you after. So
yeah,
I can't deal with him all, Madden. It's too much.
yeah, I know, but Bobby, good people. I
No, I
respect
know.
Bobby.
Yeah, you talked to him
Yeah,
on the podcast stuff.
yeah,
He's not like
Bobby.
that at all.
Yeah, nah, Bobby a good dude, man. It's just that the way he build, props to him. This Atlanta team is stupid. Like from Pitts, going get them 2 receivers with 99, 98 speed. Like, so of course, he poking his chest out right now, as he should, because he done won 2, But he got to slow it down a little bit, If he end up coming next match, maybe win a couple, maybe win about 2 or 3, and then we start having these conversations. But you gotta slow it down a little bit. But I do like Bobby. Bobby's a good user. He is, and I believe he can go anywhere, whether it's a rebuilding team or a top team, and he'll be successful regardless because he has gotten better, especially the last 2 Maddens, user wise. Because I'm gonna be honest, defensively, if he get the right pieces, Bobby is pretty good defensively. He is. I give him that. If he can get the man corners the way he want them, he'll be straight. He'll be good. Like I said, Trav will be there, of course. I think my boy Keith, I think he's gonna come out of that butt mode. I think he's gonna make some noise with the Cowboys on Band 23. I do believe that. He's gonna make some noise. So whoever do go to the NFC East, I'm just saying, be ready. Because you're gonna have a little task on your hands. So
Yeah, hopefully I find out pretty early. If Sean goes Eagles and Kais
I
Cowboys,
think Sean going Eagles though.
I might just see my way out of there before I have to deal with that all Madden, but we'll see.
Yeah, because I'm at a point, I mean, my division pretty much being cake. I mean, really, all AFCs. I mean, the only time I didn't have when I went to the NFC West with Ray and Joey, that was pretty, that was
That's about
competitive.
it,
Me
though,
and Joey.
probably for you. I mean,
Yeah, but
don't
I
think you've had anything
mean,
else.
Ray didn't even beat me. And the whole he beat me one time in the whole 6 seasons that we played in the restart when I went to the NFC West. So, but most of it was like Joey. We were kind of going back and forth, but still, it was still competitive. Like so. And it get kind of boring, man. Like you in the division with like really nobody in there.
Yeah, I know. You have to build your team up, but once you
Yeah.
do, you don't look forward to those 70-point blowouts.
Yeah. And see that's the thing people forget about because if you go to a team or go to a division that's, with a whole bunch of good users or even just solid users, like I'm looking to go somewhere where I know it's users, or I'm thinking or hoping gonna happen. Users that's active.
But what's your final personal comments for the league as far as going into it, like predictions as far as winning bowls? What guy do you think could really take a step? What guy do you think might drop? Like, what do you expect for next franchise?
I am expecting a solid franchise. That's all I gotta say. More of a solid franchise and a clean, more like smooth Madden. That's what I would like for Like, just no more glitches or bullshit, or I don't know, just no more bullshit, really. Like, I just like a nice fucking Madden, just competing, and
Yeah, where our primary focus is playing the league, not worrying about can we add a 30-second user, not worrying about if our players won't be allowed to be re-signed, not worrying about, that stuff.
well, like at the same. I mean, I understand, like at the same time, but like we didn't make this game. It's not like I can go be like, oh, don't worry, guys, I'll go tell them. I'll go tell them to go fix this shit so we can get at it to the league and make it back. Like I'm not trying to take away from anybody. Like I want everyone to compete. Like I said, I want to face the guys that I always beat, and then next year they're beating me at least once or twice. Like I don't want them to win any bowls over me, but I don't know. That's fun. That's what makes it fun. So I'm hoping everyone's just competitive. That'd be fun. I feel like everybody could be competitive, which I know is that's hard to fucking have. So that'd be cool though if everyone was competing for a division spot or just like playoffs and stuff. It's not gonna happen, but I'm hoping everyone plays better next year. That's all I guess.
Outside of the Bills pick, of course, they all have potential.
Those are his hometown.
Yeah.
That was gonna be cool. It was a perfect time too. Allen was coming into his own. I mean, actually, I feel like this year is probably the best.
Ironically, yeah, you picked the Bills this year, and it was the year of the mobile quarterback that was OP. So
that is true, also.
But it wasn't intentional. I knew Lamar was going to be good. Like I was talking about this before, I knew he was going to be dominant.
Oh yeah,
but I didn't think I was going to do half the stuff I did with him.
Well, the thing that bothered me too, thinking back on it, really, I feel like the injuries were just like offensive linemen got injured a lot for
Injuries did not exist. It was random injuries for backup receivers. It was very clear. Again, Madden catered like Fortnite this year to the casuals. They know that when your quarterback gets hurt or your running back, you don't want to play franchise anymore. Your quarterback, no one got hurt for me. Nobody.
Dude, I would trunk with Allen all over the field, and he would just get up every time.
I got Truz activated with Lamar. In older Maddens, when I had Truz, realistically, I still would have avoided hits because I didn't want to get Lamar hurt. When I had Truz activated, I was like, oh, cool, he's Hulk. I would just let everyone hit me because they couldn't fumble. Not caring about injuries.
I mean, Allen fumbled a lot because I think his carrying was like 50.
Yeah, but Lamar had Truz. So I couldn't.
No, I wish I had Truz.
So I was like Hulk. I would just run head first at people and do crazy jukes because he couldn't hurt him, and you couldn't hurt him, and you couldn't make him fumble.
Yeah, so I'm hoping I don't want, like I said, I don't want my players to get hurt, but I'm if they get like I get rocked, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, oh, he's got a concussion. Like, don't have my guy standing there. Like, you see it all the time. He'll just be standing there in the animation, and he'll just go down on one knee. It's like, oh, broken leg. I'm like, dude. Well, he didn't do anything.
I hated that. If the play's dead, your guy's running back to the huddle, and you just see him go like broken elbow, and he had to play.
He just grabs his body and drops.
And he dropped. I would prefer no injuries versus how stupid it was the Madden before, where you just had like
just a little bit, just a little uptick. If I'm being reckless with it, like I said,
and not for season. You're right. Like concussion, bruised forearm for the game. Knock him out for the game.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like if I'm being an idiot, if I'm taking fucking say I take the Bengals and I take Burrow, who's not fast, and I'm just running around and get smacked. Like I should get. You're right. Like I bruised my chest. I broke a finger.
But just don't give me the torn abdomen. Like I remember I had Myles Garrett when I was the Browns. He tore his abdomen every single season for 8 seasons to the point where I told you guys I'm trading him.
Don't give me a torn ACL every season. Like. Just because, like, you know what I mean? I know it happens, but not every fucking season, like, or not every time. Like, give me other injuries happen. So I feel like it's either, like, every injury is like bruised sternum, or he's out for the game, bruised sternum, or it's like broken forearm. That's the only ones I've seen this year. Broken forearm and like bruised sternum. I don't see any ACLs. I don't see any concussions. I don't see anything like super serious. I know it's happened, but I feel like the most injuries happened when they had the fucking practice mode glitch shit where it was off.
Yeah,
and most people were getting hurt.
Who would we were talking on some of the bowl predictions, and one of them that I got from someone was that Shea finally goes to a bowl this year.
No.
What do you think on that one? You don't think so? He's gonna get a good team.
It's not gonna happen. It's not happening. Especially it's like he would need he would need so many things to go his way. One, he would need me to get bumped. Then he would need. Has he beaten Bobby before? He's beaten Bobby once, I think.
Yeah, he
So
caught him like early in the franchise, I think.
Spider one, but no, I don't know. Next Madden could be completely different Madden because this Madden, as you can see, me and fucking Spider just keep blowing him out now. Like I'm dropping 70 a game, Spider's dropping like 50, 60 a game against him. Like it's terrible. But I mean, that could be just this Madden. Next Madden, he could be better, but I don't know. He be doing crazy shit. Like his the defense he comes out in sometimes I don't understand. Like it'll be a passing situation. I'm coming out in 3-4. A guy goes, somebody goes empty, he'll go 3-4. Like I just like
Yeah, he has like 9 guys in the box, and he did that
Or-
against me too. I was just
or it's
scoring
like-
left and right.
like 3rd and 1. Oh, let me come out in like a nickel formation. Like I don't know. I guess football wise, I don't see it. Like sometimes he makes mistakes with that.
They thought he'd have to catch him like year one. Like he gets like the Bills or something right off the rip. No one knows how to play the game. But you're right. He'd have to go like 4 straight playoff games of consistently beating good people in playoff football.
Yeah.
It'd be tough. But what's your final to end it off? What are your personal comments? Like bold predictions for yourself, the league. What do you see for 23 next year?
For 23 next year, bold predictions. Well, right out the gate, I think people are going to be happy because we're just going to carry over the same ability rule that we're doing right now. So people will be happy. So I'm sure Bobby's probably going to feel like he's going to win a lot of championships and stuff like that.
3 to be exact. I think he bet 3 already. That's what it was.
I defend him too because I don't and I'm on the opposite side of this from other people. I don't think he wins because of the abilities. There's a couple of people that say he only wins because of the abilities, but no, to me he's a good player, and like I'm sure, it helps, but like he still has to make the right reads and stuff like that. Whatever, he has a team with a whole bunch of abilities, but I don't know. Like to me, that's not about it. Like the Chiefs guy has had like a whole bunch of ability players, and he hasn't won anything like that. My team is stacked, and I got a good amount of abilities. I haven't won anything. So I think Bobby's good. I don't read too much into abilities. Everybody else does. But for next Madden, I guess I'm sure he's going to be – he says 3. That means he probably thinks he's going to win 6. Spider moving back to the AFC is going to be interesting because now you got someone that did so well this season.
He was more successful without his team, which was interesting, moving away from the Ravens.
He was motivated.
Yeah.
To him, I took away his Ravens. It wasn't even you that you picked him. It was me that gave you the ability to pick him. He was motivated, but
craziest part, this was the best year for Lamar. Like if you look at any Madden we played with, this was the best year to have the Ravens, and then they got rid of it. Escape Artist is dead, so I may have taken the one like generational year of Lamar Jackson away from him. So yeah, I'll be staying out of the North more than likely.
Do you think you're gonna move to the NFC?
Yeah, I do like Bengals. I like Bengals and Giants right now, but
you said Bengals too, but
yeah, that's the problem. But the Giants is that Sean might be going Eagles, and Keys, however you say his name, might be going Cowboy. Well, he will go Cowboys, and then Washington football team with the way this Madden plays could be good too.
Careful in Madden. I don't want to hear about him. Okay, all right. People like Bobby likes to make fun and say I'm trash, but no, I actually fucking win games. Keith is bad. We lose to Che like that, and Keith cannot beat Che for his life. And that man plays I don't know what type of football he plays online, but like it's bad. Like he's losing to Che over and over again. I don't want to hear that guy's name.
He told me last night that he's coming back, Mutt's dead, and that he's gonna make a lot of people regret talking on his name. That's exactly what he said last night. That they're gonna be reminded. But I guess you have other comments on that.
No, I don't. You know what it is? Because I don't believe – so a big part of Keith's game was – I mean, it could be him just wanting to have fun, but he loves the throw-up one-on-one ball. And, like, that's going to work sometimes, but that's not really a good offense. Like, it's Che offense. Che fucking does that with Metcalf. And, like, yeah, it's going to work sometimes, but you got to actually, like, know how to play. And this Madden, I felt like Keith didn't know how to fucking play.
Yeah, I don't think it went to his game style. Like, he's not a heavy passer. A few guys who weren't heavy passers or good at passing really struggled this Madden because the run game wasn't, like you said, wasn't too great this year. If you knew how to pass, you were putting up 7,000 passing yards a season. Like, it really wasn't that hard to pass this year.
Yeah, I went over 7,000 once. Bobby has a record. I think he hit like 7,500 or 7,600 yards. So, like, yeah, the people that knew how to pass it pretty well.
People who came out early running were struggling. Like, Trav still won, but Trav was trying to go run heavy the first few seasons.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, he won that. He won,
yeah,
but
he more in the playoffs when it's like he tries to mix it up and he does really well.
Now he's went really pass heavy, and now he has his 3 bowls. I stopped running the ball too. It was really no point. It was just more efficient to throw wide open balls with Lamar all day than it was to try to actually get stuffed for 3 yards.
The way people play defense against you is so frustrating. I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it'd be so obvious, like, what you want to do. And I'm just like, dude, seriously?
My favorite's goal line. I come out on goal line, and they just come out in their 3-4. They're all pinched in the line. I'm like, you should just let me score them. Why'd you tackle me at the 1? I'm just going to take it right to the sideline.
It's just dumb.
You played it pretty well, but I knew you were going to play it, though.
I try to do the same thing over and over again, at least to keep you guessing. I try to keep, and if I notice you're running to the side, I'll try to to make sure I have somebody out there, spread the line, something or whatever. But
yeah, that's important because if you come out in wide 9 the entire drive, very quickly I'll get out of the run and just kill you up the middle. But if you keep changing your formation every single play, I can't just muscle memory guess what to do next play. I have to actually think during the play.
Yeah.
Which no one else does. When they come out in their Lamar stopping defense, you told it was the funniest game. You told Brian, the Browns guy, how to stop, or you or Joey, I don't know. Someone told that you guys gave him very blunt and non out of context information to stop me. You told him about QB spies or QB or cornerback blitzes. I don't remember. The next game, he came out with a wide 9, everyone on the line, and he had 4 guys in the cornerback blitz. And I was like, all right, I'll just streak the ball. And I had 70 or 80 on him, and he disconnected.
That was me that broke it down for him. I didn't do that. I'll blitz one corner, not fucking.
He didn't get it. He had 2 guys on each side. They came in hot right away, but I was just streaking it all game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, well, again, point is not everyone can follow that advice. So until people learn how to play against, that's dead though. Lamar's dead next Madden. That's over. I don't know if you played the beta, but there's no running anymore.
I played it 2 games only. I got the passing pretty much down on the second game. I was happy with it. I was using the target passing, whatever that shit is.
I like the idea, but I got to get used to using it in a competitive game. If I'm playing a real NRG game and it's competitive, I don't know how much I'll be able to think about precision passing.
I don't know if you really went into it. So they're trying to it gets really precise with what you can do. So besides just using that circle to put the ball in a certain location, you could turn on the settings where another meter will pop up, and depending on how long you hold that button, the power of the throwing power. And then besides those 2 things, then there's a settings. I think it's from 0 to 99, and you could tweak how sensitive it is when you press the button. Sort of like a sensitivity when playing a shooting game, something like that. So if you really mess with that and then go to practice, it's going to be really different. I think anyone that masters
that'll be a big skill gap. I'm kind of scared of anyone who figures that out perfectly, but this Madden, they said they're going to have an onboarding process for that. What you're saying exactly, because the beta didn't explain it at all. It was just a feature that was there. And if you didn't really look deeper, but they said they have a whole onboarding process to learn it when you join. I doubt many people in our league will learn it. I really doubt that many people will figure that out, but whoever does will be really good.
That was pretty much your last question, right? I wanted to ask you something if you didn't have anything else.
No, yeah, I'm good. What do you got?
I wanted to know who you thought was the best player this Madden and who you thought was the worst.
Okay, when I answer this question, I always answer people who I played personally. The person who played me the best was you as a whole. Now, Trav beat me in the Super Bowl. Obviously, but I played him in regular season. I didn't really feel dominated by him. You're the only guy who dominated me in regular season. I don't know if I beat you once in the regular season. Right? Not once?
No, I don't think you did. No.
That one game I should have beat you when you had that backup quarterback. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened that game. It still haunts me. I was up 28-0. I broke Trey Lance's arm, and that guy came in. I don't know what happened. What was his name?
Was it Sweats or something like that?
No.
Montez? Steve Montez?
Montez. Yeah, Montez. Yeah, that guy's crazy. But in the playoffs, my toughest games were, ironically, I think the Raiders gave me my toughest playoff game. You and Raiders gave me my toughest playoff game. Now, worst user. I'm not gonna say steals or any of them. He didn't last around. Actual user, I don't know who. I really destroyed JTC a bunch of times. For that kind of team that he had, I was putting 50, 60 every time we played. Bobby, I dropped 75 and 85 on back-to-back games on him that we've played.
But how many titles you won?
I only won one. I don't know, honestly, I feel like I wasted an opportunity this Madden. I had bad luck with timing of vacations. I was 17-1 that one season with Lamar, and I had to sim the playoffs. you force win to me one time, or force loss to me that one playoffs where you granted yourself an L. Actually, you kicked me out of playoffs. Probably would have beaten me, and then gave yourself the Chargers and lost.
I beat the Chargers, man. I fucking choked that. That's another game I choked away. And then, of course, then we played in the regular season after that, and I fucking blew him out. Like, he hasn't beaten me since that game. Like, it's just what I do in the playoffs is just fucking crazy. Justin was another one. I've beaten Justin every single time. We matched up once in the playoffs, and he beats me by fucking possession. And I always lose by a possession in the fucking playoffs.
I beat you by 1 point, right? I remember correctly. Yeah. I don't know what you were doing. That was the worst play I've ever seen you just execute. You ran a single spacing route, like quick hitches or whatever, and you just threw it was entirely covered. My corner was standing in between it.
Ran with the quarterback. I had it.
And and Trey was wide for a touchdown to end the game.
I do that play now still, but since people have been paying attention, now I'll do like 2 hot routes. If I think you're gonna come out and man, I'll do like a certain hot route and fuck with people. So it's been working lately, but yeah, man, I've been choking the playoffs. It is what it is.
Yeah, you could have had 2 or 3 and ended up with none.
Yeah. Hey, well, this season we'll be at. Hopefully, I'm gonna be the 1 seed. So I'm probably gonna get in the second round. Bobby's pretty low. Oh, Bobby and Spider are low, so I'm probably gonna play one of them in the.
I hope Bobby wins because it's not going to count. Because by his ruling in his book of rules, the final 2 playoff years don't count for bowl wins. Because I've heard him. I always love to listen to the.
Didn't he win the previous season? So that don't count.
Yeah, no, he loves to make certain comments. So I always throw him back. And in Bobby's black book of rules for what counts in head-to-head games, the last 2 seasons, no one's playing, and you beat plumbers. Like that's what he said about Chargers Super Bowl, which I do agree with. But if he wins this last one, it doesn't count. So it's good to see what because not a lot of people are playing. It's just a lot of force wins.
To me, the only people that are playing are the same people that have been going to playoffs over and over again.
Yeah, that's
Those
true.
are the that are playing their game. So I almost felt like, damn, we should have just advanced the playoffs and have the same fucking people that are in it all the time just play each other, because that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna play either Bobby or Spy in the second round. I already know that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and it's gonna be me, Miles, and Sean. It's gonna be the same 3, and then whoever gets out of there.
But if NFC wins this season, I know we already got the lead, but I think it would be big, right? Because you won 1, you're the AFC, JTC,
Sean.
Miles 3, Sean is 4.
Chargers, you got him.
That's it. That's already 4 AFC. So if we win again, it'll be 6-4. And if you guys win, it'll be 5-5 even.
Yeah, you guys are being carried by the Cardinals, though. Oh, yeah. Maybe Bobby.
Bobby got 2.
Yeah, so Bobby wins another one. It's 3-3.
Cardinals. So yeah. But to me, the same question I asked you, who I thought was the best person, it was either going to be Trav or Bobby. I picked Bobby because Bobby's offense was the only offense that I went up against, and it was like this in the beginning for Trav. I thought that against Trav, but not lately, where I felt like, damn, he's fucking scoring no matter what I do. I'll come out in different formations and different fucking plays, and no matter what, he was scoring, and now I would feel like, okay, now I got to score no matter what. And I felt that way about Trav for the beginning, but the last 5 seasons, I haven't really felt that way. But Bobby's offense is lethal, so I gave him the best user, and the worst user is definitely Che. It's not. I'm fucking dropping. What I drop 99 points on him one game. It's ridiculous.
He surprisingly catches some people. I'm not one to ever get surprise beat like that. I'll lose to good users, but I really never ever lose to a bad user. It's really rare.
He's gotten close to beating me in the first couple of seasons. I think it was 2 games where he got close. I mean, he even had a lead from the start to full quarter, but then he would lose. So yeah, best Bobby, worst Che. That's what I would say.
Any more comments you got for the league, or you good?
I just wanted to say, next Madden, when Madden 23 comes out, that'll be our 8th Madden, so our 8th year doing this. So I'm happy about that. 8 years, that's a long time. I mean, 8 years ago, I wasn't married. I didn't have a kid. It's just ridiculous. 8 years ago, I don't even think I was working in the same place I was working. So I'm happy with the group of guys we got, with the core guys, I would say. Like I said, we mentioned before, we need to grow that number a little bit bigger. The Rams, whoever brought the Rams in, I don't remember who brought the Rams in. The Rams was a good ad. I like him.
The Panthers guy too. I thought that's why I even put him above.
I haven't played Panthers, and he's been given a couple of forced wins, but I didn't I didn't know if it was just because it's the last season, so just whatever. He just wants to
I
get it
liked him
over.
in chat. He was being helpful. Like he was telling you some stuff about Discord, how to improve this. He was
Okay,
like,
all right.
he was sending like articles in and stuff. So I know guys that help in the chat, I always appreciate. They take their time in there.
Good, that'll be good. But I mean, and then October, I'm gonna have this kid, so I hopefully we keep going. I mean, I'm sure we are. We'll probably just need some more help with the league. But yeah, man, it's been fun running this league. Sometimes people get a little too serious and go a little crazy, but people are weird. But I definitely enjoyed like doing this for the past 8 years. I just want to keep it going.
So we have a few league questions. So first, when are we knowing pick selection? Not teams and not doing teams, but last year was August 12th. That'll be 7 days from today. My birthday actually is when we did it last year.
I'm probably gonna put out the order. Well, I definitely want to finish and have a champion for this Madden. So while we're doing this, I'm not putting it out. The order I'm probably gonna put it out when the Madden drops. I'll probably put it out. I'll probably start working on it as soon as we finish this season. I mean, Madden comes out next week, right? I
The
think
16th or 15th if you do New Zealand. So
yeah.
yeah.
So I'll put it out right around that time, either the day after it drops or whatever. Get people excited, and then people start practicing with what teams that they're going to pick. I think people are going to be really surprised with the order. By the way, we already have certain things going and certain order, and people are going to be really shocked. I would say that we took notice to the people who kind of disappeared towards the end, and it didn't matter. We don't care how long you were here, you disappeared, and people that joined late and continue to play no matter what, they're going to be rewarded. So. And
so it must be my pick selection estimate might be a little more off than I thought in terms of everybody.
If you frequently disappeared here and there, we remember that too. So my opponent saying he's ready to play. It's gonna be a little bit different the order this year. There's gonna be some shocks, I feel like. And I'm gonna continue my annual tradition now. This is gonna be the third year I did it, where I rewarded someone that's been here a long time and gave them a bump. It's been Brian and it's been Bobby. So now it's somebody else's turn to receive that bump.
Yeah, I had my guesses. I was thinking Che or JTC, which I didn't actually know. Apparently JTC didn't miss like a single game this whole franchise, which I didn't know that, but he was telling me that last night on the other pod. So we'll see. But yeah, I know a few users have been here since like the first game of this Madden, have not missed. I've been pretty good at scheduling. So we'll see on that. And then, so that's it. Yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to that. I know a lot of people are interested because I was talking to Miles about this. Pick selection isn't really about the team you get. It's an ego trip. It's about, kind of your dominance and seniority and stuff in the league. Because at the end of the day, you look at it, right? In the past few years, Miles has went Jags, you went Niners. Let's say I go Giants, like Sean takes a bad team. No one's even going for the Bills and the Chiefs this year like that as the top pick. So it's more about just ego because no one really needs that for the pick they want. So it'll be interesting to see.
You got it. You got Miles. I heard that Miles said he's coming out west. Is that what he said?
On the pod, he said he's taking the Texans because he's not letting you know his team. I suspect he'll be going with a young defensive team, or he'll be chasing you. I'm not entirely sure what he's doing.
You don't want to chase me. Undefeated against that man this season, this Madden. Those Jaguars didn't want no 49ers smoke.
He'll be in Arizona, he'll be in Carolina, or he'll be in Cleveland. That's my guesses.
Okay, gotcha. Spider and the Spider-Bug go back to Ravens. That means
Jay's the biggest wild card. I've talked to him. He's the biggest problem right now. We know almost all the picks in the top 10, like an idea. But Jay could just, let's say he takes the Giants, or I don't know. Let's say he does.
I believe Justin is going to take. I have a hunch. This is just a hunch that he's going to take the Bengals only because he likes Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase just won them a fantasy championship, and so they have a young quarterback. They have a young wide receiver. I have a feeling he's going to take the Bengals.
So there you go. So me and Sean both kind of competing right now, talking like which one of us is going to get the Bengals. We're both thinking about it. So if he takes Bengals, that means Sean resorts to, let's say, Eagles. And then that changes like, okay, fine. So then do I want to go Giants? Because if Sean's the Eagles and Keith is Cowboys, I want to be in a loaded division. So, it all depends on what Jay takes to see what unfolds.
Sean is fooling you. Sean's not taking the Bengals. Sean will not pick a team he's already been.
That's what he said, but he said he might break that rule. He loves the trio we got there.
That means he's fooling you purposely. And now it makes me wonder, who does he really want?
The Eagles. That's what he likes, the Eagles.
We'll see about that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, but I definitely like the Bengals and Giants. So it really comes down to what Jay takes. And I never know what Jay, he takes like 24 hours to make his pick once he's on the clock, as if you're not already the Niners, right? So it's like he's really the first pick in the draft. So we'll see what he does.
We shall see. We shall see. Can't wait to put that order out.
Yeah, me too. It was a nice shock last year. I got when you pre-released the entire list or the rest of the list.
That was funny.
I was at a birthday dinner for myself, and I just remember I got a tag from you, and I didn't see it for 10 minutes. Then I had like 18 tags on my phone. I'm like, whoa, what happened? I didn't even know pick selection was going on. I opened my phone, and obviously you already edited it at that point. And I'm just getting like cursed out, getting called a bum, a trash can, like how the fuck? I'm like, what happened? And like, yeah, as if you didn't see. I'm like, I didn't see. He already edited.
I don't know why people get so angry at you or getting a high pick. Like, people gotta think, like, yeah, you like if you all you do is play your games or whatever, like that's all you do. Like, I mean, you yourself, I'm talking about Teddy, like you do a lot for the league. Like when we needed people, you refilled the league right away. Like you did the podcast. Like I feel like people don't really look into that. Like, oh, it's like, oh, I play my games. Like, okay, like what else you do? Are you helping me out with stuff? Like I even like, I mean, and this is people are going to call them snitches, but you know, I'm not going to see everything that goes on in the league, and I don't want people cheating. So when people DM me stuff, like I appreciate that. It makes my life easier. Anything that's going to make my life easier running the league, like it helps. It helps me, so I appreciate it. And like if you just play your games and do nothing else, like all right, I like you as a member, but I could give someone else that's playing all their games and helping me a higher pick than you.
Yeah, and I feel like you put the rubric out anyway. So when people are really confused about how it even gets decided, like the rubric's out there. You've straight up said exactly what you look at. You've made it very clear that game's part of it, but it's not the whole thing. So I don't know. I just feel like exactly it's dumb to fight about it. I mean, I know like I said, it's an ego thing, but you know, I look forward to this team selection. It should be it's always a fun time in chat. See who gets someone's gonna be upset. I don't know who yet, based on what you said. Someone's gonna be really upset.
I think someone's gonna be upset probably as soon as I say, because I usually go in reverse order. I
Yeah.
think I say the first pick that someone's gonna be upset.
Yeah, it's always fun, and then it just sucks. We have to wait a month after that. You know, we get all hyped for this pick selection, and then don't get to wait for the game. But
if I'll give you guys a little preview. I think he was the last person that joined the Rams. The Rams is not picking last, so take that as you will.
Yeah, I didn't know which one was the cool one. I know that Rams and Panthers are both new. I knew one of them was playing and like being competitive. I thought it was the Panthers guy, but now you guys are saying it's the Rams. I guess I mixed that one up.
Yeah, so can't wait.
Biggest rival next Madden. Again, this could be someone you just like to beat. This could
Bobby.
be someone that you have a good game,
Bobby.
Bobby. That's it.
Bobby. Fucking Bobby. I don't care if I lose every fucking game. Bobby.
That's the pick.
We cool, but I just want to shut him up. I just want him to know we're not in the same league.
All right,
That's
so
all.
that's like that's like tally number 4 for that name on that question. That guy
Damn,
has a
I'm not the
target.
only one.
Like, you're not the only one. If I was interviewed, that'd be mine too. I was saying to some of the guys when we were talking, I was like, Bobby's the one game though I hate playing because if I beat him, I still lose. If I don't play him, I still lose. Like somehow in the chat, he's gonna make me feel bad about even beating him. Like the shit he
like-
talks after, it still gets me.
Because like with me, like I've done so much in Madden. So it's like when I come in and see Bobby talking, like Bobby literally has to have an all ability team in order to win. That's like much. Like you have to have abilities to win. That means nothing to me.
Hey
And
man,
see,
I'm
like-
all for that statement because he loves to tell me that I needed Lamar to win, I needed Chark with Moss to win, I needed so. Flip side, it goes both ways with certain people getting certain things and they win their bowls.
Like, listen, think about it. Since you've been in the franchise with me, how many times have I ever drafted like top 15, top 10?
I don't even know if you have. Maybe if you didn't play a season, you took some APs.
I never drafted higher than like 20. So the longest I've been in this franchise, I've never got a top pick. Nobody wants to trade with me.
You're impossible to trade with. No one trades with the homers because it's impossible because you can't get a Cowboy from you and you don't draft high, so there's no one to take from you.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like
you always have the same team. I know what you're saying. You don't get to upgrade your
Yeah.
team too much.
Exactly. I'm not getting a 99 speed receiver because I'm not drafting high. I have to hope the computer will draft one for me in the later round. But hey, that's what I get.
I guess that's part
But
of the problem with taking the boys. You have no salary cap and you don't draft high, so your team's your team till the wheels fall off.
but Bobby drafts top 5 how many years? And then in the back end of the franchise, now he's the best player.
Hey, these are some great personal
But
comments. It's going to be a great end to the thing.
But Bobby, my dog, though. I rock with Bobby. Bobby's cool.
No, you know we need it though. What's what we're talking about? Like you need it. You need to have the chat fire going. Like if you didn't have guys talking like that or people getting pissed off, this would be a boring league. It would just be another Madden game. I'd probably just play Mud at that. But that's what Mud is. That's my problem with Mud is that you don't talk to the guy after for them. Sometimes you do, but
I don't care what. The best thing, it was the funniest shit that ever happened in the franchise. When everybody got on and the franchise was gone. Because Drew erased the freaking league.
that was horrible. I was telling Sean, I low-key want him back.
Trav was in practice. He was like, damn, what happened? No,
he got kicked out. B-Car was in practice. And Trav was loading up for his league game. He was like, guys, the servers are down. What do you got for personal comments? It could be bold predictions about yourself, about the league, some things you want to just get off before the league starts in about a few days or a week. We have some Madden.
Oh, my bold prediction is I don't win a Super Bowl next year. Well, that's not that bold, but I take a Madden off and then I'll probably win one next Madden. But
you don't think you're bringing the Packers?
No. My next bold, I guess my other bold prediction is that JTC wins a bowl next Madden. I got a feeling.
You think he came close in the beginning of this Madden. He didn't make it far in the playoffs, but he was rolling with the Chiefs when like you were able to streak like all game with no coverage.
Yeah, he's starting to learn. Like he doesn't have this mode like I have. Like where I get in the playoffs, I'm gonna run against the good teams. I'm just gonna make him have 5-6 possessions and try and beat me. I think he's starting to learn that he's got.
He doesn't know how to change his game style. You're right. In the playoffs, every winner is able to like the second I hit playoffs. You're not seeing me scramble all game. You're not seeing me just run like a crazy headless chicken. You're not seeing me take hits. Like I get into this super conservative mode. Meanwhile, he's still throwing streaks in the playoffs. And he did it against me. But the problem was in the second half, once I adjusted to those streaks, I caught him on 3 picks to just blow him out in the second half, which you should never be being risky like that.
Yeah, I tell him all the time, like I watch his games. I was watching the game against the Bills. The reason he ran against him so many times that one playoff game, he probably ran it for 200 some yards. I kept texting him, just run the ball. He can't stop it. And like you saw me in the Super Bowl against the Niners, I threw the ball 8 times and won the game. I mean, I'm hoping that he sort of adjusts like that, but
playoffs are won by the run game. This Madden was a bit harder, especially in the second half, because we opened up abilities and inside stuff and just killed it. There was no running the second half franchise.
Exactly.
But every Super Bowl run I've had has been around the run because it's just too risky to pass in the playoffs because when everyone else is being super conservative, you throw 1 pick, you might not touch the ball the rest of that half.
Yeah, 100%. Can't. I'm a big proponent of running the ball. That's why I think I've sort of been trashy or worse in the second half in the playoffs. Just can't run the ball like I used to, but
you can't run. It's all pass heavy now. You see the scores: 700 passing yards, 600.
Yep, even I'm passing the ball a ridiculous amount. Like I can't run anymore. So I'm hoping we turn off, or at least not turn off, but don't allow.
They'll stay on, but I'm hoping that I know Sean's been talking about it. We're hoping we can maybe get it to be like no repeats again.
But yeah, that's fine with me. Like the problem is when I'm playing Raiders and Jack and Broncos, they have 10 guys with abilities. And they just have guys diving out of nowhere to get picks every play, and I can't run up the middle, so
yeah, I prefer
trying to bomb them
every other
play.
Because that's kind of like what real life is. Like you're playing Ramsey, he's going to be crazy, so you throw away from Ramsey. But now it's like bum corner number 3 and 2 also have superstar for whatever reason, and now everyone feels like Jalen Ramsey on the field.
Yep.
So hopefully we adjust. I mean, Ray's really all or nothing with his rulings. It's like we either have no abilities or we have it entirely open, which I understand because it's not really his job to be honoring it and maintaining. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're all adults here and we all have stuff going on. It's hard for him to be sitting here in his adult life, about to have a kid and stuff, and just sitting there like, all right, let me go check everyone's teams, make sure no one has repeats again,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's sort of the honor code of that, but we've seen the honor code of
that means absolutely nothing in our league. It means absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
Because
any way someone can find a way to cheat, they're going to take it.
This league's
At
too
least some
competitive.
people.
This league's too competitive. We get too nasty in the chat. Like you lose for a few seasons in a row, and you're getting beat up in that chat. You're looking for any advantage.
You could see it in the league itself. We're down to what 20 some members. I mean, we're weeding out the bad players, and yeah, people
And
aren't
not just
sticking
even
around
bad
as long.
players, just weak personalities. Because that's the other thing. Like when we beat you, like there's no sport. Like there's a sportsmanship rule, but I think almost every good user has realized how to get around that, myself included. Halfback dive, bomb you deep. Like I know how to play around it. I know how to start the first pass, get a one play touchdown. Sportsmanship's dead in our league.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I don't even know if we should have the rules anymore. I mean, we're throwing for 6,000 some yards a year at this point. It might as well just be a concede if we want to really keep it fair. If it's over 28,
which I will honor, but if you're not going to ask for a concede, then I'm just gonna get my stats. So
yeah, I usually take the concede if they want it, or if I want it, I usually just ask for it. Not worth playing it out.
The key though is going to be getting 32 users. That's what we were talking about before. It's going to be hard though. I mean, it's like if you've been here for a while now, how many users have we actually gotten like that have been quality? Like it's rare that like you get a long-term ad. Like it's like you maybe get one a Madden, maybe two a Madden, like actual ads.
And lose a couple. Yeah. So yeah, I would say right now I think we got like 16, 18 maybe that we can rely on for.
And then we have like 7 guys we just don't know if like they're new, they're talking, but like will they stay?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just getting tougher, especially with next gen. It's just game's not good. I mean, but I think it'll get better. I hope by this Madden. I think passing will be a little better. I haven't played it at all, so I don't really know. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's the biggest problem with the league right now. We can't keep 32 users. I mean, there's some divisions with 3 APs or 2 APs. So
yeah, we got to just start. We got to get it right from the start. The beginning of this year, the scouting update, waiting a whole month for that made us lose a few users because people weren't waiting around to start a league. So, if we get it right from the start where people that's the other thing, you got to pick the right team for you. Nothing's more miserable than we're going a whole year straight. We're going 12 months. Nothing's more miserable than picking the wrong situation for yourself. And by year 3 being miserable, what you're doing.
Yeah. And some people just aren't good at building teams because they don't know how to play franchise.
And that's fine. So then you got to make sure you pick a team that has like, if you know you need a quarterback and a wide receiver to pass because you're not good at building wide receivers, you're not good at building quarterbacks. Make sure you address that early. Don't think you're going to be pulling some miracle shit with like the Patriots, like you're going to rebuild that dynasty,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm that way sort of. I need a good quarterback at least to be good. Like you saw me a couple months ago trade for Watson before all the sexual assault stuff, but trade for Watson and I traded everything pretty much for him.
I want the Browns, but I feel dirty going there.
Yeah, if I was taking the Browns, I'd have to start Jacoby Brissett for a whole year. Just
I wonder how we're gonna handle that in the league. I was actually thinking about that. I was like, you think Ray will follow through with that suspension or no? Have we done that like that?
No, not really. I don't think we've had a situation of a full year suspension, other than maybe Josh.
Well, we have Calvin Ridley now, so I wonder what he's gonna do with that. If that's gonna be
Yeah, I don't know. Like in the show, they did take the players completely out of the game. Like the Brewers had a player suspended the whole year, and he's out of the game. So I don't know.
Oh, maybe Ridley might not even be there. That's possible. In terms of personal comments, what do you got? Like, that's something to end off on. What do you think of bold statements for next year?
Well, I'd say I'm probably the best Madden player in the league. Just based off of that, I've beaten every user at least once with my shitty internet. And this upcoming Madden, I'm gonna have pretty good internet, so watch out.
Are you actually gonna get that done finally? Because you've been denying it for Maddens, and now it's pretty clear you're the reason that your Twitch stream is trippy.
I had some settings messed up. It's all fixed now. I got the IT guy.
Are you getting fiber?
No, I just have gig internet.
Oh, that's okay. That's good though.
It cuts in and out.
All right, so hopefully you get your internet fixed. You have some better games next Madden. I think it's going to be a really competitive Madden, at least more so than in past years. Because if defense is improved, that actually is good for good users and good for bad users. Because a good user that's good on defense will just completely dominate, and a bad user that just is able to get a lot of free agent draft good players, free agent defenders, and just have a good team in the beginning, their team will just automatically pass rush for them and do all that stuff. So it should make the games a little bit more competitive, lower scoring. And I think the biggest thing is that I think there's 32 good teams this year. I don't know if you've taken a look. They're all really good.
Yeah. I think the main thing going into next year, though, is just getting 32 dedicated users.
That's important.
Continue to play their games.
Give or
don't
take,
quit
we have what, 25 right now?
around there. Yeah.
25, and I'd say truthfully, like 7 of them barely speak or active. I'd say like chat wise, we have like a good like 10, 12 that talk consistently or
Yeah.
pretty consistently. We have like another 4 or 5 stragglers. We have the new guys who, of course, we can't assume that they're going to be, people join this league, they talk for 1 month, like all talk, and then like the league gets serious. We start again when everyone's all competitive and they're out. So
And I think things like this will pick it up a little bit.
yeah,
People,
I think this gets people more involved because this is one of the important things, which I think a lot of them see now too, is that when you go on the Daddy Leagues page, there's like 30 to 100 to thousands of franchise you could join. They all have commissioners, they all have good users, they're all competitive, they all have rule books. But stuff like this is what stands out. We're like, you know what, I'm gonna stay here because we do cooler things here,
Yeah, for sure.
And seeing faces, I think it's always important to see a face because you
Yeah.
get to get who you're talking to on the other side of the screen.
Mhm.
It's like more emotionally connected, which I think is
Yeah.
really cool.
It's crazy that we're all from different parts of the country. Have had guys from out of the U.S. even been in the league
Yeah.
before. So it's kind of cool that we all get to join together from different backgrounds and just play Madden.
I think I talk more in this Discord than I do to almost anybody else IRL, like in terms of texting.
Yeah, even your girlfriend.
No, she's downstairs right now. She's here. That one still trumps it. But in terms of like, it's just cool because we always have something to talk about. Like your IRL friends, like you're talking about like BS. Like we have football, we have fantasy football, we have Madden, we have daily games, we have rivalries, we have free agency. Like there's always something, and someone's always starting some shit in the chat. So it's always fun to keep up. Nice little thing. I know when I open Discord at like 8 o'clock at night after a long day of working, there'll be something to read there.
Yeah. It's always something you can go to.
Yeah.
Clear some mind.
That's definitely cool. So it was nice talking to you.
Yeah, for sure.
So look forward to Madden 23. We have a few more days. Start thinking about your team, and I'm heading on to Madden now.
I'm focused on Madden 22 still, trying to make the playoffs.
I forgot that season's still going on.
Don't stop.
Hey, this would be the season to steal a bull. Yeah, this would be the season to steal a bull. This would be the one.
But I can't stand playing Raiders either. Bunch.